Big Orange fans, you played every snap. You showed your orange. But you're just getting started because it's time for the best post-game fan show in college football. It's time for the Garza Law Firm 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. The place where the Big Orange universe from all around the world gathers to talk about today's game. Unfiltered, uncensored, and unapologetic. And did we mention commercial-free? A show of you, by you, and yep, for you.
Yes! Yes!
The most unique fan experience in sports.
Tennessee rolls, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely outstanding.
And it happens right now.
Yours truly, Tony Basilio, in the Rainier studio with you.
Get online at 865.
Turn it up!
250
Turn it up! Point it up!
65
Point it up!
Or you can hit us up on Twitter.
Point it up,
Tony
y'all!
Basilio.
Point it up! As we're live on Garza Law. 5th quarter fan reaction. Tony Basilio reporting the Vols win 31-11 and blow out the Florida Gators, who wanted none of that. Of course, in true Tennessee fashion, we called the cops on our own party in the second half, but you know, I'm not going to focus on that because the game's a game, and a win's a win. And Tennessee blew that team out. They had no chance. So Tennessee outclasses Florida. Joey Aguilar gets 204 yards at the end of the game. Josh Heupel lamenting the fact that his team did not look good in the second half right now with Holly Rowe. But hey, he's smiling walking off the field because you know what? Joey Aguilar is over there gator chomping with the fans that traveled down. Because for the first time in 20 years, Tennessee wins in that place, and they made it look easy. TGMD, can I get a witness? Holla! Talk to me, TGMD.
Oh, this is awesome. Just an absolutely dominant first half in a place where you've spent the last 30 plus years finding ways to lose embarrassingly time and time again. So it's a very uneventful and stress-free second half, which should be appreciated in this rivalry. You just thoroughly dominated them, and then just kind of played, ran the clock out in the second half. They give up a touchdown there, and then you run the last 8.5 minutes off the clock, just moving the ball down the field, running it down their throat. There was a time that would be really celebrated with this coach because that's something we didn't used to do. But I mean, just a great night for the program and a great win for Tennessee. It's just a great feeling. It's awesome. Really, really good, and gives you some momentum going into next week where it's a really big game.
Garza Law, Tennessee 5th quarter fan reaction presented by Marcos Garza, your Garza Law Firm, online at garzalaw.com. Matt says big game. Look, next Friday we're going to be live down at Calhoun's on the river. You know that place is going to be popping and dropping and happening. And, all these years we've wanted a Florida game of consequence. Well, brother, you got one. You got one next weekend. And I say tonight that Joey Aguilar, if nothing else happens this year, positive for him on the season, he got a signature win tonight. That's a signature win. I know Florida's a 3-win football team. And I know they look like a 3-win football team. But when you go there and win, that's a signature win. And I want to congratulate Tennessee for their game plan tonight. And Florida has 2 coaches now you can call Sunbelt Billy because I don't know what they were doing on defense in that first half, but that was comical. I got time for it, as they say in the trade. I mean, for them keeping their safeties deep and us just running the ball on them, Tennessee ran the ball for 248 yards tonight. Get you some of that. As Brian Hartman's opened his mic, I know that sound anywhere. Brian Hartman, talk to me, then we go to the phones. And keep it pithy, because I want to get some calls in here. Let's celebrate tonight.
Well, I had 95 Bama vibes. this weekend because when streaks like this end, they end in blowout fashion. And I think this felt like 96 Florida in reverse, where the second half, the team who won didn't even have to score once. And the game was never really in doubt. Even though they didn't score in the second half, it was still a blowout. And two things that made me think this was different. Florida's first possession after Tennessee scored to go up 7-0, they hit a big play to ball. And it was called back because of a hold. So they go 3 and out, they punt. And then a second thing that happened, usually Florida goes right down and scores there. It's tied up. They could have done that. Well, no, they had to give the ball back, and the ball scored to go up 14-0. There was another play where they looked like they were about to have a fumble, and there was a fumble, and they didn't recover it. Normally, they pick that ball up and run back in and score with it, and it's a game again. They make a game out of it. And Tennessee got the benefit both times. It went their way. So at that point, you just kind of knew that this year really is different.
Presented by Marcos Garza, your Garza Law Firm. Yeah, Star Thomas took that ball and rumbled, stumbled, and almost fumbled down to the 2-yard line. And again, you talk about just getting all the breaks in the first half. Look, at one point it was 14-0 Tennessee. They had 135 yards to Florida's 1. Florida had about 0 effort on defense. Tennessee comes out in the 4th and short with Aguilar under center. They did it a couple times in the game. Had Herring, Moy, and Robinson in a power set. Bishop just got a first down on that one. On a day where it's not going to be your day, when he's hitting the backfield and your line collapses like it did, we're on here just ripping that. But when you win a game, hey, man, all is forgiven. And Brian talks about that critical play where Aguilar gets strip sacked. Star Thomas on a 3rd and 17, things that have plagued us for forever and a day, goes 52 yards down the right sideline, total dominance, and that made the score 28-0, and that was that. And we go to the phones. I'm so happy for these guys. I'm so happy for this fan base. We put bookend blowouts in this Florida series. 1990 was a blowout here. 95 is a blowout down there. Now we don't see him for a few years. Just a great win. A great night all the way around. And I thought that was really weak of Sunbelt Billy, too, to kick a field goal. Because their streak was 471 games coming into the game. Was on the line. They're really into that. And the shutout was broken cheaply by a late third quarter field goal after we took a timeout. But what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Let's go back to our phones. 865-200-5402. A show of you, yup, for you, yup, by you. Hello and welcome in on our TLD Logistics phone lines. It's Garza Law, 5th quarter fan reaction presented by Marcos Garza, the Garza Law Firm, online at garzalaw.com. Shout out to Marcos and his entire office. They're all listening to us right now as we celebrate into the wee small hours of the morning, whether it's DUI, defense, criminal defense, personal injury, Social Security, disability. Garza Law Firm has you covered, available 24/7 at garzalaw.com. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, it's Jordan Athens.
What's up, brother?
Golly bum. Can you believe it?
I can believe it, yes.
Yeah, I can too. Let me tell you, I'm just so thrilled. My daughter is down there with the band. She's getting to experience this.
That's fantastic.
She's been sending us pictures. I was 20 years old and a student the last time we did this down there. It's just it's incredible. Let me just make this comment, just trying to reflect on all the big plays in the game. The 3rd and 17 run by Star Thomas, I feel like at that moment I just knew that this thing was over. I think we'll kind of look back and try to break down big plays in this game, but that one right there just sticks out. What do y'all think?
No doubt it's a backbreaker. As Brian says, in that spot, look, generally, the way things have gone in our big games this year, strip sack, your quarterback generally does not get on that ball. But our quarterback comes back, gets on the ball, and the next play goes down to their goal line. I mean, that's ball game. What if they pick the ball up and run it in there and it's a 2-score game? All of a sudden, they've got all the momentum. They've got the crowd there. They've got everybody woken up. We're back on our heels. That's a huge sequence in that game. And 3rd and 17, we block it down, start Thomas with a nice read, and that pretty much is how it went all night for our running game. Well, I mean, in the second half, we didn't try to do anything. So we ran the clock out in the second half. Let's call that what it was.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, hey, listen, I know the lines are packed. I'm honored to be the first one in, and I'm planning to come down there Friday. Me and some buddies were planning weeks ago. So, hey, we'll see you down there Friday at Calhoun's, okay, Tony?
And
Look forward to it.
Yeah, and we'll be live down at Calhoun's on the river on Friday. I want to remind you, they've got their Feed the Family feed packs for the holidays. You can pre-order yours now, November 24th through January 1st. They're all the holidays. Holidayfeedpacks.com. We got smoked turkey and dressing from there the other day. It's like a Thursday special. Let me tell you something. You're in for a real treat. Whether it's the turkey, the mashed potatoes, the peas, the gravy, the dressing, the rolls, the cranberry sauce, the cheesecake, it's all unbelievably fresh. Feed 5, and they also have a Feed 10 pack, and they also have a smoked prime rib meal as well, hot and ready for you and ready to go. Just pre-order. It's all we ask of you. Pre-order. Prime rib with mashed potatoes, au jus, spinach Maria, gravy, rolls, horseradish sauce, and cheesecake. Let's go back to our phones at 865-200-5402. It's Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime. Tony Basilio with you in the Raymier studio. Vanderbilt next week absolutely destroyed Kentucky today. I mean, ripped them limb from limb, just like Tennessee ripped Florida up. That Vanderbilt team is playing really well, and Tennessee is going to have to meet the moment next weekend, but they'll come into the moment, as Matt said, with some momentum. Absolutely with some momentum. Matt, what did you think of Sunbelt Billy 2's decision to kick a field goal after we took a timeout to break the shutout? I thought that was weak sauce, Matt, at the time.
No, it was. That was Bush League. But I think Napier did that his first year in their bowl game. He kicked the field goal with like 20 seconds left just to not get shut out. So at least the two Sunbelt Billies that are coaching them this year, kept that shutout streak alive, or non-shutout streak. So good for them. But I mean, you can just tell that's the team playing out the strings. I mean, start the second half, they don't fair catch the kickoff, and they start at their own 2. They came out of one timeout after we had pinned them at the one out of a TV timeout and had to take a timeout.
Yes.
I mean, that's just they're a well-oiled machine down there. They were posed no threat to Tennessee tonight.
Zero.
Tennessee just had to show up and take care of business, and that's what they did.
That's all.
When you're down 31, you kick a field goal to cut it to 28, you do it. You always do it.
Brian, I'm going to shout Brian Hartman out. Back in the spring, he said Tennessee's going to win this game. He said the reason why, he said I'm not, and he said it this week too, I'm not going to be beholden to this streak. And then the second thing Brian said is, by the time we get to them, there'll be nothing left of them. There was nothing left of them tonight. I mean, let's just call this what it is. And as Matt said, all Tennessee to do, which is still very difficult. You have to go play an SEC opponent, and you have to play cleanly, because these teams aren't going to give you anything. So you still have to, do what you're going to do and do it cleanly and get in and out of there and blow them out. And once you got 2 scores up on them, that game's over. I want to shout some people out. We had several thousand people there. That's pretty incredible to me. Now, everybody tells me it's all about, you miss the playoffs and nobody cares and people unplug. I didn't see that. And then from them, they had a 3-win football team, and that stadium looked jam-packed. So, Matt, I'm not here to give Florida fans any kind of love, but there was a lot more people in that place than I thought there'd be.
Yeah, well,
a lot
first
more.
home game in over a month.
Yep.
Had the Urban deal.
Yep.
So yeah, they show up for that, and obviously a lot of them left at halftime after the Urban thing, and then the crowd shot of them just piling out of there after the Tom Petty fourth quarter deal was kind of hilarious.
I won't back down.
They did show up, but Tennessee took the crowd out of the game immediately.
Yep.
I think it was 21-0 before Florida even got a first down.
I won't back down till I back down. I won't back down till I walk out of the stadium, and we all back down.
Shout out to Ethan Davis.
Oh,
the offense just ran much, much better with him out there. And I think he's my player of the game. He really is.
Back to the phones we go. Let's get our next call in.
That Florida State game next week is going to be electric. That's just an incredible college football atmosphere between two well-coached and two teams that play really hard.
Talk about some brutal-ass football. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on Garza Law, Tennessee, fifth quarter fan reaction.
Hey, Tony, Jake from Memphis, man.
Jakey.
How cathartic was that, man?
Buddy, come on, man. That's what it's all about.
I'm 34, and I was in middle school the last time I saw us win in Gainesville, and I never in my life, either in Neyland or in Gainesville, thought I'd look down and see Tennessee 31, Florida 0 in any circumstance ever. Man, did that feel good. And I don't know Maggie. I never met her.
She's so
man,
next level.
We did it, Maggie.
Let's go, Maggie. Let's go, Maggie. It's for Maggie.
We did it, Maggie.
And all the Maggies out there everywhere.
I mean, there's a ton of Maggies out there.
That's
and
right.
that tonight is for us, man. Like, that was just, man, that felt so good. And I'm not going to be hypocritical and say I'm not going to get pissed off if we lose next week, because I totally will. But I'm not taking this for granted. This doesn't happen. And I don't care that Florida is what they are. I was shocked. I've never seen a Tennessee team take it to a Florida team like that. That Arion Carter sack on Lagway was awesome, man. And Mike Matthews just putting his head down, getting some extra yards. Like, we took it to them tonight. We really did.
They had no chance. When we scored our second touchdown, the game was over. Ball game.
Just so fun.
Oh my gosh,
just so fun. And yeah, I mean, Tony, it's for you too, man. It's for all of us. That was a great, just cathartic game as of all. And I'm thankful for it. I'll hop off and let others get in. Thank you, man.
Love. 865-200-5402 if you want to get in the mix with us. It was a great night. And really, truly, for the old heads out there, for the young heads out there, I'm glad that the kids get a chance to experience something like this. And I'm really glad Joey Aguilar gets to experience a signature win. Because some people are going to say, well, Tony, that's silly. They have 3 wins. That they end up 3-9 after next week. I don't care. Because if you go down there and win, it's a signature win. Nobody's moving that cheese on me. It's a signature win. Let's go back to the busy phones.
LSU thing ever.
Do what?
LSU just gave up a scoop and scored touchdown to what the Helton in Western Kentucky with like a minute to go.
Yes.
They were literally running the clock out. And it came right after they showed Brian Kelly's kid, who's like a walk-on on their team, which is ironic. They showed him like doing his senior day festivities. And then the next snap, they get a scoop and score for Western Kentucky. So
what's the score?
The Hilltoppers still have life.
They got to get an onside kick.
865-200-5402. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. It's Nathan in Andersonville.
Hey, Nathan. Good to talk to you. Great. Hey, no negative in the first 3 calls tonight, Matt. I'm a little surprised by that. Good to talk to you, Nathan.
Well, I'll be honest, guys. I thought about doing my negative impression when I got on here. If he wasn't one of the first couple calls.
Interesting.
But, man, that felt a whole lot better than I thought it was going to.
Well, again, I just all week I just couldn't get out of my mind how we're 9-3, they're 3-9. I mean, that's how the season's going to end up, or we're 7-3, they're 3-7, and we were acting this week like we have a 3-7 football team. Florida's not worthy of respect this year. That's just the bottom line. They're just not. And as Matt said, they didn't even try tonight. And I'm not diminishing what we did, but their effort sucked. And that's what you have to do. You got to take them out of it.
We didn't give them any life. We took the game out of their hands and took it to them. We beat the hell out of them on the line of scrimmage.
That's exactly right.
On both sides. And we didn't let them grow into the game.
No.
We didn't let the crowd be a factor.
No.
We went down there and took care of business like a great program should.
That's exactly right, Matt.
Absolutely. And I kept watching that first half. I kept thinking to myself, like, this is how so many of the games down there should have gone and didn't. Especially like during when they had Jim McElwain
Great
and
point.
What's his name that went to South Carolina. I can't remember that coach's name. Anyway,
you're not talking Spurrier,
yeah.
are you?
Do what?
You're about Will Muschamp. I forgot all about the Will Muschamp regime. My gosh.
Yeah, you had Muschamp and McElwain down there, who neither one of those coaches had any business beating the Vols, and we went down there and just, totally sharded down both legs every year.
Yep. Ron Zook couldn't fog up a mirror. He beat us. Felipe Franks beat us down there. I mean, it's like a stiff of the month club.
We had a second. Well, I mean, yeah, it was something all the time. You had 2 fourth down plays on back-to-back years down there that you totally just gave up.
Pretty next level.
So, yeah, it felt a lot better than I thought it would, beating Florida down there. To one up the last caller, I was 3 years old the last time we won down there, and I was 4 the last time we won back-to-back games against Florida.
And if you think about it, everybody's on this coach's rear end this year for certain things, and I get it. I mean, he's not perfect, like as we talk about on here. He's not. But, and I appreciate you, Nathan. Thank you. Great talking to you. Here's the deal. This guy is now with the Florida series ending, regularly beating them. That's 2 in a row. And he's splitting with Alabama 2-2 in his last 4. He's not perfect. He's not. He does things that drive me crazy, and maybe he took his foot off the gas in the second half a little bit. And
they only scored 3 points from the 9-minute mark of the second quarter for the rest of the game, and still blew them out.
And I'm with Matt. Look, personally, if it's me, I score 75 on him and really hammer him. Matt told me during our halftime space, that ain't happening. This guy ain't doing that.
Were they going to throw into the end zone that last play before the false start, and they didn't have to snap it?
What do you think, Matt? Were they going to throw it in?
No.
It's not who this guy is.
No, it's not who he is.
No.
Whether you like that or not, it's not who he is. You didn't do anything downfield because Florida was not going to give you that.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty of opportunities next week to hit plays downfield. And what happens next week will matter a whole lot more all offseason than the second half tonight.
865-200-5402. I think both teams next week are going to hit some big plays downfield because Pavia and their passing game really is cooking right now. That's going to be a hell of a football game. That's going to be wild. That's going to be wild in Neyland Stadium next week. My friends at T3 Vodka, you can score a T3 TD every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and tons of pride. Right in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality, it's an absolute way of life. Filtered 10 times 80 proof, T3 delivers smoothness, unmatched, a dedication to excellence. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka, 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat on the rocks, mixing with your favorite cocktail, T3, your choice for a premium award-winning experience every single time. Score a T3 TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants, wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right. T3 Vodka. And score a T3 Vodka TD tonight. Tennessee's premium vodka, distributed by Athens Distributing Company. And we ask you to please drink responsibly. And Brian, tonight's T3 TD tonight is by whom?
It is the first one to Ethan Davis, a tight end out in the flat, down the sideline. First drive of the game. Tennessee was very methodical. They didn't pick up any big plays until the touchdown, I don't think. It was just a little run here, a little run there, a short pass here, a short pass there, and he went down into the end zone, and the Vols they led from that point forward. So that got them off to the start they needed to, and the defense and everything else kept it up. But I'm going to get Ethan Davis is my player of the game for the Vols.
Ethan Davis, 23-yard reception from Joey Aguilar. 9 plays, 75 yards, comprised in 332. It was 7-0 Vols. And Tennessee, that was the game. The air is right out of the balloon. And you know what? You turn around and you see they make a play. They make a play. And as Brian says, a hold's called. The game's over from there. Florida never had a chance to get into the game tonight. Never had a chance. Because once they got 2 scores down, the quit meter on those guys, I mean, it was off the charts. So we go back to our TLD Logistics phone lines, heating them up on a Saturday night. Hi, you're on the air. Welcome in.
Tony and everybody, it's Leslie. How are y'all doing?
Leslie, happy Florida victory Saturday/Sunday to you.
Hey, I got to tell you 2 things. Joey Aguilar will never be forgotten by this living fan, and I think we will be talking about him, 20 years from now, that he went down there and led his team to victory. And second, I know y'all laugh at me, but I got to mention Charlie because 3rd time's the charm. He was at the game, and that was his 3rd trip to the swamp.
Leslie, when you work a Jonah or a Charlie into any phone call, I got time for it. I pop immaculate every single time. And for you to work living fan into your phone call tonight as part of your repartee, I mean, you got my vote tonight, Leslie. You got my vote.
Hey, I know I might make the Ubers mad. I don't want to talk too much. So,
Let's not do that.
Yeah, but anyway, Charlie had fun, and he's on his way home, part of the way, but they drove. So, my son, who's a Gator fan, I know y'all don't want to hear this, but we were talking the other day, and he told me, he said, I haven't seen a really big win. He said his earliest memory was losing the SEC championship and watching Tim Tebow, crying on the sidelines. But a cautionary tale I wanted to say the other day is he was born in 2002. He was watching the Tennessee-Florida game. Y'all remember a guy named Steve Irwin? No relation to me, but do y'all remember Steve Irwin?
Sure, of course.
The crocodile hunter,
of course,
right?
Yeah.
Well, he was obsessed with him, and he saw all that alligator stuff, and he saw the Gators winning, and he's been a fan ever since. So I know people that are Tennessee fans think that's ridiculous.
I honor that. Now, you can be a fan of whatever you want to be a fan of, just like you can watch whatever you want to watch. It's free country, Leslie.
Yeah, and all he saw was the Vols losing, So,
sure.
But anyway... But, Charlie enjoyed the victory tonight. I did, too. And I really do think that Joey and his team will never be forgotten for what they did tonight. And I'm planning on them finishing the season strong next week in Neyland. I don't know. I might be there. I haven't decided. I wasn't going to go, but it's tempting.
You need to go, Leslie.
That's all I got.
That's going to be a magical, magical scene in Neyland Stadium next week. And tickets should be available for it because the students are going to be away. It's a holiday weekend. A lot of people are doing holiday stuff, So it's a great opportunity to get in there, I would think. At least I would think. Now, what do I know? I do want to remind you when you come to town, if you're coming to town, there are 3 locations here locally of Alumni Hall. Your one-stop shop for all the Vol fans on your shopping list this season. I mean, what could be better than your favorite Tennessee gear under the tree? Maybe you buy it for yourself, wrap it, and put it there, Nice polo shirt and new hoodie. Something for the man cave. You can check out my friends at Alumni Hall. They stand by our tailgate that we do every year, our Machi tailgate. I mean, they loaded those kids up with some great goodies. You'll be supporting some really wonderful people. Shout out to Jeff Goodfriend and Beth Parks. I mean, y'all are just amazing. Those are my folks at Alumni Hall. Best selection of Tennessee gear, 3 Knoxville locations. Bristol, Johnson City as well, Murfreesboro, alumnihall.com. Have a happy holiday with Alumni Hall, the ultimate volunteer shopping experience. As Tennessee just, they got started like the hammer and they finished like Shaquille tonight. Defeating, as Brian said, Tennessee didn't score. midway through the first quarter, rest of the game, and it's a blowout. 31-11. Somebody was at the game, texted me and said, man, I'm really concerned. Heupel's pulling his foot off the gas. I said, listen, you could put another 60 minutes on the clock. This is middle of the fourth quarter. Put another 60 minutes on the clock. Florida can't win this game. It was not. You could have, like, if it was a video game, if you'd put 60 more minutes on the clock, they couldn't have won the game. They were never, and I mean ever, a threat to win that game. I'm talking ever, never, ever.
Did you notice that on their touchdown drive or a couple second-half drives, they were letting the clock run all the way down to 2 seconds before snapping it? And
That's
they were down by 28 points. Tennessee was snapping it with 10 seconds on the play clock.
Well, the game
was interesting.
31-0 at the half. There was nothing that they were going to do to get back in the game.
Yeah.
They want this season to be over too.
Yes.
Well, good point. But I mean, it just was interesting.
Somebody there, Tone. One of my good buddies, Zach, sent a video of Joey Aguilar leading the band postgame, which right in the fields, because that's what Clausen did down there twice. So a California ice man.
Yeah, and Alan of WeShipFloors.com's got a great video of it as well. He had the iconic video yesterday that went viral of him taking his truck down the interstate with Rocky Top blaring as well. So they're getting the full experience tonight, and they were down there in that stadium, and that's what you travel for. You want to see a game like this. I'm glad to see our fans get paid back this year. Hello and welcome in. And next week, the opportunity to keep Vanderbilt out of the playoffs and to finish 9-3 and finish strongly. A lot's on the line next week, obviously. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, y'all. It's William from Fort Oglethorpe.
Hey, William. Good to talk to you, my man.
It's good to talk to you, too, Tony. Goodness gracious, am I happy to be a Tennessee fan today.
I know. Isn't it great, William?
Yes. First time beating Florida at Florida. That I've seen. Of course, I've never seen them actually beat Florida at Florida.
I don't think HDTV was invented the last time we won at Florida. I think all the Florida at Florida video for the Vols winning that exists is a grainy video. Finally, something in high definition tonight.
There was no Twitter either.
No Twitter.
Facebook was not around.
You couldn't talk smack.
I think all we had was MySpace.
I might have had a Crackleberry or something, or whatever you call that thing. I was walking around with Crackberry. Interesting.
Well, I'm just impressed with how Tennessee did today.
Yeah. It's pretty next level, isn't it, William? Feels great to win, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels so great. I put on everything today. Jersey, hat, put crosses on my face.
Go!
Put on every single chain I own, ranging from a Tennessee chain to like a gold one.
Every chain, William? Every chain?
That I own, yes. And I even had a leather belt.
William, it's pretty next level. You're painting a visual here that, I've got to go to sleep here in a few hours, and you're going to keep me up, man. Thinking about you styling and profiling down there in Fort Oglethorpe, right outside of Lake Winnipesaukee. But it's absolutely, totally, 100% outstanding to talk to you. Congratulations to you on your first Florida road win, because, my friend, you deserve it. 865-200-5402. William, one of a panoply of living Vol fans that I've had the pleasure of meeting this year over at our Calhoun's festivities this year. We will be down there on Friday, and it's going to be absolutely, without a doubt, 100% next level. Believe that. As we go back to our phones. Matt, what did you think of the Florida fan that flipped his jersey off, his Tebow jersey, and put it around his head in the middle of the first half? And I think he did that at 14-0. That was obviously a knowledgeable kid because he knew the game was over.
Yeah, that was a great visual. I was a little disappointed we didn't get better crowd shots throughout the second half, but
yes,
I guess that a lot of empty seats, so I didn't want to show that. But no, that was a really funny visual there. He just pulled that jersey right off.
He said, "Screw this. I'm kind of in, but I'm kind of not. You know, it's like that I Won't Back Down song. We're gonna all stay here. We're gonna sing the song. I wonder if Urban Meyer gave one of his pep talks, one of his famous pep talks he gave the Jags. I mean, what in the hell was that? Let's go back to our phones. And that's Sunbelt Billy, too. You had Sunbelt Billy 1 and Sunbelt Billy 2 now. Sunbelt Billy Gonzalez is kicking a field goal to break us to keep your streak alive. I mean, that's what this has come to. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Basilio.
What's going on?
Joshy boy. What's up, my man? What up, Dixie? What up, Bronny? Josh Heupel in the first half left no doubt. He did not take his foot off the gas. And my only complaint tonight is that he took his foot off the gas in the second half because I wanted 60 points on the Gators from all those years.
Yeah, so did I. At halftime, I really wanted that thing to be 55-3. In our halftime space that I did, Matt jumped in there with me. I really wanted it to be 55-3. But, you know, you can't always get what you want. And that's just not our coach. It's just not who he is.
For them, that offense to not score more than 11 against a defense that's had teams score 30-plus at ease all year, in a way, is almost as embarrassing as giving up 60.
It's totally embarrassing.
When you think about it.
Yeah, it's totally embarrassing, Brian. And they got shut out in the second half of the last week in their ball game. And then tonight, I mean, they don't kick a late field goal in the third quarter. I'm not sure they score because we let them get loose in that one drive after that. But, you know, the game at that point was way over.
Guys, what did you think about Joey's performance tonight?
Wingo, I thought
204 yards passing.
I thought it was solid. Now you're not under wings. I can read the stats, Joshy boy.
Okay, Shepard.
All right, you're not under wings. I can read the stats, Joshy boy.
Okay.
I do like the fact that they threw it enough to keep him over 200 yards because that is a pretty cool streak that they're honoring this year. And there have been a couple times this year where they've kind of kept him in games or, you know, patted it around just to keep him there. They easily tonight could have gone way over that. But there at the very end, I was glad to see them honor him and get the
He does have a touchdown pass in every game this season, right?
Wow, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So, that win tonight, that win is for Maggie, that win is for Big Josh.
Big Josh.
And that win is for Broderick and all the Tennessee Volunteer fans out there, all the passionate Tennessee fans. Barney Boy
Shout
and
out to
everyone
Broderick.
else.
Shout out Barney Boy. Shout them all out. 865-200-540. Phil and Don, open the door and let them in. Martin
I'll
Luther.
be disappointed if we don't get a call from Mags live from Gainesville at some point tonight.
Matt, give her the digits. Let's go back to our phones. 865-200-5402. Let's get our next call in. If they really wanted to, Matt, how many points could they have scored in that game? If they felt like it, if this coach was different. If this guy was a kill-you coach. If he was like the guy at Indiana.
I mean, you easily could have gotten the upper 40s and probably 50 if you really, really wanted to.
Yeah. Like 55-3. That's what Florida deserved to get beat by tonight. That's what their effort
you could have. Yeah. I mean, that would have felt good.
Yeah.
Everything. Again, what happens next week's a lot more important in the second half this week. You needed to get out of there. He kind of banged up.
Yes.
Bishop kind of was hobbled a few times tonight. So you just want to get out of there and get ready for next week, which is a really big game. But I mean, it would have been nice to just video game it and beat the hell out of them and run it up because it's an interim coach. You're not playing them every year now. So, but Heupel is just a little bit too classy for that.
Back to our phones we go. Yeah, he's a lot more classy than I am because I would have hammered him. On our TLD Logistics phone lines, it's Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. If you want to get hunting in the mix with us, hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony B. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Greg, welcome in, buddy.
Hey, let me first say I had basketball action today, men and women, and I was hoping our men's game would get over when I have time to get home to see the kickoff. Well, we had 2 wins at Columbia State today and got my equipment together, got in the vehicle, headed home. They had just kicked off before I got to the house, and I'm about 5 miles away, I guess. And they already scored before I got home, so I said, yay, I was all pumped up, ready to go. And the first half looked good. And I'm proud of the big victory. The guys did well. Coaches did well on play calling. And today, Vanderbilt's Pavia had 484 yards passing against Kentucky, a school record. And they trounced Kentucky. So my problem is he was pretty well greased up in his game today for another tough outing for him next weekend in Knoxville. Tennessee, they let the air out after halftime. And I'll just say what a lot of folks are thinking, but a lot of folks are not saying. Bad idea. It's a bad idea to hold back your team any damn time they take the field. These guys also are getting paid now. So you're holding up their athleticism that they're getting paid for. And, I don't understand. I don't understand why he did that.
It's just kind of who he is. It's just sort of who he is. And,
that ain't worth a crap.
Well, I mean, Greg,
who you are, my.
I'm sorry, I didn't do it.
Notre Dame put up 70 today. Other teams put up
the first time in
over 50.
Quarter century.
Yeah, I know. Notre Dame scored 70. I get all that. That's just not who this guy is.
We should have beat them like you said. It'd have been nice to be 55 points at halftime.
Yes.
It'd have been nice to be 55 points at the end of the game.
Yes.
And Notre Dame also had 2 punt returns and a defensive score.
Yeah, I mean, tonight, Greg, Tennessee just kind of took what Florida gave them, got the win, got out of there. And it was pretty workmanlike, I thought, and really weren't challenged on either side of the ball. Beat Florida up at the point of attack. Florida didn't want to be out there, and Tennessee took them further out of the game. I thought it was a great thing, Greg. As for next week, one thing we've seen in this league, week to week, it's a week-to-week proposition. It always has been, but this year especially. And, man, that Vanderbilt game next week is going to be one hell of a challenge for us because they are screws down. They are firing on all cylinders. We're going to get their best shot next week, and I think they're going to get ours too. It's going to be a great game.
And let me just say,
yeah,
to all these folks with no faces but names on your
over here on the fake on the YouTube, yes,
on YouTube,
yeah.
I'm not Nega Greg. I'm a bigger damn Tennessee fan than a lot of you guys. I've been
They're calling you
damn years.
Hang on a second. They're calling you Nega Greg over there?
I am not negative.
That's unbelievable.
I'm telling the truth, guys.
Greg, you're my man. I love you. Thanks, brother. I'm glad you got 2 calls in, and you got some pop tonight in your voice for having done 2 games. I wish I had your stamina, Greg. You got charisma, brah. Let's go back to the phones on your TLD Logistics phone lines. It's Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Sean Sinclair is, ladies and gentlemen, he's fired up, focused, and prepared. And when it's time for a fresh coat, you will run. Don't walk to Walker's Painting, whether it's interior, exterior, Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999, all across our Knoxville area, whether it's new construction repaints, or maybe it's commercial. It's free estimates. They're available for you. You tell Walker's Painting you heard about it right here on Garza Law Fifth Quarter Fan Reaction. 10% off your first paint job. Let's go. You're going to run. You're not going to walk. The Walker's Painting, 865-688-1410, 865-688-1410, 865-688-1410. Busy couple of days for us because the Vols play basketball Monday. We will be on with a Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime on Monday. We never get a day off around here. Welcome in, Cinco. Your thoughts on our first win in Florida in 20 years. How great of a feeling is that, my man?
Well, that's a great one for you. First of all, I want to thank Marcos and all your sponsors for letting us do this and supporting you through the years, Tony. You're the hardest working man in sports entertainment, and I appreciate all those folks for supporting you and letting us do this. So first that. Second of all, I appreciate Greg. I don't agree with Greg, but I appreciate his passion because I understand where he's coming from. But I'll say this, Tony B. In the cathedral of my mind, I want to thank Josh Heupel. I want to thank Joey Aguilar. I want to thank everybody that was down there because they exercised a demon that I've been living with for 22 years. I have been Charlie Brown approaching a football in front of Lucy, thinking she was going to hold the ball there. And every time I go to kick the ball, she lifts the ball up and I land flat on my ass every single time. And today, you know what? I was able to kick that ball. So I know it's metaphorically and I know it's a little hyperbolic, but I want to thank those guys because the series ends and those folks exercise an extremely large demon in my mind. I hear you, Greg, but you know what? That chapter is closed. I know you wanted a scalp. I know you wanted to make an Ed Gein chair of skin of the Gators, but believe me, my friend, that is dead and gone. Now we can live another day. Go on, beat the Commodores, and I don't care what the stats say. I will forever regard Josh Heupel and Joey Aguilar and those guys as one of my favorites because that was outstanding. I don't care what the stats say. I don't care what the scoreboard says. I don't care that Billy Gonzalez, who has always been a punk and a clown as a wide receiver coach and a pseudo Trooper Taylor.
Yep.
And an absolute effing poser. And you are Billy Gonzalez. You've always been a poser, and you know it. I don't care what they are. They exercise the demon for me, and I'm appreciative.
865-200-5402. When you do something you haven't done in 20 years, there are no style points. And we took a position statement on the show this week, as we will do. One of them was you cannot go to Florida and lose and have a credible football season. So now you have a credible team. The question is how credible. Next week, an opportunity to finish your regular season with 9 wins, which in my world would be an A coaching job. But you couldn't get there from here, Michael Stipe. Very cool jangly E chord in the middle of that. All those open chords, the top of your guitar neck. But that's you can't get there from here. You had to get this win tonight. So this sets up and gives you an opportunity to get there from here. The other thing is that I don't care how many wins Florida has or ends up with or doesn't end up with, or if Florida State goes out next week, and I don't know how they would, but if they blow them out, I don't care. It does not diminish that this team went there and did something that teams haven't done in 20 years because it just doesn't happen. So we'll go back to our phones. 865-200-5402. I happen to just flip on the Gator Network because I want to hear what those guys were saying, the radio tonight. And they did a really nice thing where they were talking about Aguilar. And the guy in there that does color for them, I believe is Shane, what's his name, Matt? The guy that played quarterback under Spurrier? Shane
Matthews.
It's Shane Matthews. He said, let me tell you something. He said, there's something in this sport where this Aguilar guy not going to wow you on a field, but he's an unbelievable leader. He said, and what they've done here, and this is towards the latter part of the game, he said what they've done here by coming in to this building and winning and doing it the way they've done it, he said, I feel good for that kid. He said, because the truth is, there's a guy on the left coast who left Tennessee high and dry and made a big issue out of it. And it's fallen in on him this year. And I was like, whoa, you go, Shane Matthews. Shane Matthews in his day was just he was a quarterback, just won a bunch of games. This Aguilar guy, it's good to see him win one of these. It really is. He deserves to have his name right next to Casey Clausen, 2 California kids. Yeah, these guys aren't going to play pro ball, and that's cool. This Aguilar guy, though, he deserved to win that game tonight. And I like how they did it. They just ran the ball at this team. Florida said, we're going to take your passing game away. Heupel said, I have a run offense anyway. If you're going to leave your 2 safeties back there, we'll run a marathon out here today. We'll go 26 miles on you. Let's go back to our phones and get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You are live on Garza Law 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. Hi.
Tony B, it's Zach in the town of E. What is up, my man?
Hey, Zach, welcome in.
Running it down the field like we did in 2001.
Yep.
I hope you'll give me a second here because I know they like to celebrate Tom Petty, which is the only good thing to come out of Gainesville. They like to sing I Won't Back Down. But tonight, we had Joey and Bishop and Ethan Davis who went down to ensure that Florida's season was a continued breakdown, that they continued free falling, and that they will continue to be a refugee from the college football playoff. They begged us. They begged us, don't do me like that, but we don't scare easy. So Florida, and I'm talking to the state, the team, and the caller, even the losers.
Even the losers.
Look, the only thing left that I need to know, is will we continue to move into the great wide open and keep Vandy from running down a dream next week? Because Vandy, you ain't jamming me, says Joey, says Bishop, the Vols, D, and Coach Hype. And that is my ode to Tom Petty and the Vols tonight, who went down there and whooped some ass in Gainesville.
Thank you, my friend.
For letting me do that.
That was very well done. Thank you. The waiting on that phone call was the hardest part. If we go back to our phones. 865-200-5402. And tonight, Sunbelt Billy Dose, go for Dos Equis, said, stop dragging my heart around. So we get our next call in. On your TLD Logistics phone lines, it is Garza Law. 5th Quarter Fan Reaction presented by Marcos Garza, the Garza Law Firm. We're online at garzalaw.com. Hi, you're on the air. Welcome in.
Hey, Tony, it's Randy from Altamont.
Hey, Randy, welcome in, my brother.
Finally, Tony, finally. I grew up, this game was bigger than Alabama in the 90s, and it just was. And watching us go through this misery for 20 years down there, it's finally, and the way we just went down there and just took their football and just took it home with us. I mean, it was never in doubt. Did you notice that Moy didn't play that game, and our guards and our center pushed him around, done really well. That's what I was focusing that whole game was our guard play. It's really been questionable, and they did really well.
Very well, and it was aided by the fact that Florida kind of light boxed us. And Dale Jones was talking about that yesterday. That was the diagnostics Tennessee would have to do tonight at the line of scrimmage, and the team that runs the ball here, because the other thing that happened tonight, the thing I was really concerned about was ball running against us. Hey, Matt, once you get 2 scores up on them, they totally abandoned ball. They were not running the ball after that. It completely alters that game.
Yeah, they're just not built to play from behind. And especially they still run a lot of Napier's offense still, which is, run based and a lot of play action based, where they, play ball control and grind out yards. And that's how they win. That's how they beat Texas. And they just couldn't do that tonight. That got to give Tennessee credit for you take them out of their game, put them in an uncomfortable spot. And Tennessee did that early. So no, it was just a great performance. I mean, Ball's really good. He picked up some hard-earned yards. He's a really good between the tackles runner who, I don't know what their next coach is going to do, but that's a guy that might be their most highly coveted guy in the portal if he doesn't stay there.
Interesting.
And Tony, our passing offense, he threw crossing patterns. He got the ball out of Joey's hands.
Yep.
Quick.
Yep.
And because we've been having trouble keeping him. We threw one bomb and it's a fumble. Thank goodness the other guy, Joey got on. And Tony, Florida's not getting Kiffin. And I flipped over there on a Florida halftime show. They are They are so down. They're so depressed. I mean, this is just, they're down.
The belief is that LSU's won the Kiffin Derby?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That's the belief. Well, here's the thing. I got news flash for anybody listening, including the Florida fans. LSU's a much better job than yours, even with a nutty-ass governor lording over it for a couple of years till his term's over. It's still a better job than your job. Anybody with a pulse could contend for national championships at LSU. Brian
Ed
Kelly,
Oderon won a national championship down there.
Thank you. And if you put Lane Kiffin down there, now that he's all grown up, and he's a little more mature than he was here, but he'll have a way of getting those nuts all pulling in the same direction. There are so many ball players in that footprint. It's just a much better job than the Florida job. The Florida job has become a weird opportunity. The Florida job's such a weird opportunity that James Franklin jumped right at Virginia Tech. He just jumped at it. He didn't even wait to see what Lane Kiffin was going to do.
It's like the Florida job's got talent, but there's no money.
That's the point. And that's the point. Yep.
And Miami's out there throwing money around. And
look, what's it getting them?
Well, it's coaching for them. But in Florida State's Florida ought to be racking up right now.
Sure they should.
Florida State's in disarray. Miami's fluttering around down there. And, I mean, and they're not.
Yep.
And
I expect Lane Kiffin to either be at Ole Miss next year or be at LSU. They've given him his ultimatum. I do believe that. I believe we're going to know as soon as the Egg Bowl is played at the end of the weekend. And I think it's a shame that there's a chance Ole Miss has a different coach for the playoffs because this guy's going to leave his team. I think that's just
if they lose, they might get snubbed if Kiffin leaves. Well, that could happen.
It's a good point. It's a good thing they're playing Mississippi State.
They really could.
Yep. Mississippi State could be.
And they're distracted, too.
Yep.
And there is nobody else Florida wants but Kiffin. Yep. Nobody. And it's nobody. So whoever goes into that job is already not Kiffin.
Yep. Thank you, Mike.
I think if they could get Jed Fish, that would be a pretty good pull for them.
Okay.
If it's
I think he's a pretty good coach.
He could be a dish. Thank you. Good. Hey, Randy, good talking to you. Let me go back to my TLD Logistics phone lines that are burning up right now. As I remind you that portions tonight presented by our friends, and I say it loud and say it proud, WeShipFloors.com. WeShipFloors.com. Listen, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to take down WeShipFloors.com. I want you to reach out to them. I want you to request a free sample. They were telling me that since they've been on here, it's been a little slow. And I need you to stand by this program, stand by what we do. And here's what you're going to experience. If you go to WeShipFloors.com's website, they have 120 different Supercore floors. You can drop them virtually into your room in your house and order a free sample today over at We Ship Floors. Now, Crazy Allen is down there with the Crazies in Gainesville. He's a nut. He's probably listening to us right now. And he wants to earn your business. And I'd like for you to give him an opportunity. You know why? Because I don't want to put this thing behind a paywall. I don't want to do that. It's never been my goal. I like this thing being accessible to everybody. I've had people tell me, you know how much money you can make? Well, I mean, it's not everything. But the people that are hearing it have to give it support. That's how this works. WeShipFloors.com. Of the Vol fan, by the Vol fan, for the Vol fan. A product that is second to none. An LVP floor. A stone plastic composite. Best LVP product out there. It ain't close. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, WeShipFloors.com. Check them out. As we get ready to go back to our phones. On a night where the Vols win. On a night where Eli Drinkafifth is 1-11 against top 10 teams. And Matt, for some reason, his name is being mentioned with some of these openings, and I don't know what I'm missing here. Do these teams want to, compete for championships or be a runaround car, or what do they want to do, Matt? What are we doing?
I'm not sure, but he's just kind of another guy. Doesn't do anything special. Hasn't, I'm not sure he's a playoff caliber coach. I mean, maybe once or twice here or there, but I mean, you see what he does when he gets in these big games. His team and his offense, especially, which is, what he's an offensive coach, they just totally turtle up and have just no passing game.
None. Zero passing game. I mean, today, Oklahoma was damn offensive compared to them. That Oklahoma team, 3 games in a row.
Missouri totally dominated the first, 25 minutes of the game.
Yep.
And they were only up 3-0. And then Oklahoma hits one long pass play to take the lead. And basically the game was over from that point on.
That Oklahoma bunch, 3 straight games now, multiple turnovers they've created after going all year till they saw us without creating turnovers. And now that it's become a championship thing and the championship's in reach, they're creating turnovers. And I got to say, hey, Cinco, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I wanted Heupel to whisper in that guy's ear, hey, come and be my offensive coordinator. I'm going to tell you something. UCLA just ran the worst fake kick I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if y'all are watching this, but that's some of the worst college football I've ever seen. That right there.
Oh, my word. They're going to score a touchdown.
That's the worst fake kick I've ever seen. Poor Nico is sitting over there. I mean, son. Hey, Sean, I say kudos to the guy at Oklahoma. That's a hell of a coaching job by him.
It really is. And Nico and his family can take a big suck on it as far as I'm concerned.
Suck on it, Nico. I mean, they just faked a kick from midfield.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
And Sean, did you see the kicker, the guy they tried to run the fake kick to? When the ball's down on the flat, he's like, I ain't getting hit. Business decision. I ain't getting hit.
He looked like Cam Newton in the Super Bowl.
He sure did. He ran from that ball. That's one of the worst. Wait till you people that are hearing me, maybe you're in your car or you didn't see this or you're laying in bed. Tomorrow, please query this and look at it.
He was like, Holmes, I ain't getting hit.
14's like, I don't feel like it. No,
No, smell you later, Holmes.
Let's go back to our phones. It's so next level. Fired up, focused, and prepared with you on a Saturday night. We do these watch-alongs. We get people to and from. It's Garza Law 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. We're already an hour into this excursion. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, baby.
Da-na-na.
There ain't no easy way out.
Well,
I won't back down, Tony.
You could sing a little bit, girl.
7 effing times, Tony. I've been coming here since I was 15 years old, and it's finally over. I don't ever have to come back here ever again.
But you will go back, right?
We'll see.
Tell me what it was like to see those cockroaches file out of that place.
Dude, so there were 3 guys behind me. I went with 2 of my really good friends from my band days, a significant other of theirs, and my dad, my dad has been to Gainesville 18 times, never seen a win until tonight. So we both closed that loop together, which has been incredible. But we had guys behind us who, within, the first, maybe 5 minutes of gameplay, I literally heard the one right behind me say under his breath, "I can't do this." And I turned around and looked at him, and I said, "Well, there's plenty of empty seats up there if you want to go sit with your own fans." To which he looked me dead in the eyes and said, "I hate you." And it was all downhill from there. I mean, it was incredible. And we didn't even score in the second half at all. But there was no way. I've been through so many games down here. I mean, my first one was 2011, Justin Hunter torn ACL.
Oh, wow.
2013, Gator Pete, all-time classic, awful performance. The 2015 Florida game, which is the worst loss I've ever experienced. The 2017 walk-off. 2019, we lost by 30. And then 2023, I can't even tell you how that ended, but all of that, there's always a different way. We find a way to lose, or we're the better team, and we somehow let them, do the black magic of the swamp. And it didn't happen tonight. It was just, they sucked. They were 3-7, they're 3-8. It's just, it shouldn't be this exciting to beat a team that's that bad, obviously.
Right.
But it's the history behind it. So,
And it matters. It's look, people can say whatever they want to say. They can judge me and say, "Oh, you're, don't whatever you're doing." It's a signature win. You go down there and win, for us, that's a signature win. That is a Joey Aguilar. Give him the football. That's a signature win, man. He'll be remembered for that.
Yeah, it's been it's been an entire generation. I mean, yep. I was 8 years old the last time we won down there.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, nobody, and I mean nobody, beats the Tennessee Volunteers at home 11 times in a row.
No. No.
I hate to say that. Well, I really don't. And I'm sure that if there are people who are in kind of the younger generation that didn't grow up with us being competitive against Alabama as kids, Florida's the number one rival for me. And for a lot of people I know my age feel that way. And I understand why we got the 3 teams in our little pod or whatever it is with the new SEC format with Alabama, Vanderbilt, and Kentucky. I love ragging on Kentucky. I'm marrying a Kentucky fan. I'm glad to have that. Vanderbilt's obvious, Alabama's obvious, but a football season's not going to feel complete without playing Florida. It just isn't. And I hate to say it, but it's truly a rivalry, and that's why it doesn't matter if they're 3-7, they got an interim coach, and they've mailed it in. All of them count, and now it's 3 out of the last 4 and 4 out of the last 20. But you just got to chip away and
4 out of the last 20 is the greatest thing ever. But here's the thing. Look, people can rag on our coach all they want, and he's not perfect, okay? He's not. But he's 2-2 with Alabama in the last 4 and 3 of the last 4 with Florida. That's pretty damn good, Maggie. That's pretty damn good. I mean,
it's better than all of the other bozos combined.
Yes.
Easily. I mean,
yes.
I can't do the math. I've done it before, but it's a tough place to play. Everybody knows that. It's so pure SEC. I mean, I can tell you. So I went to Starkville this year, which was great, and not to diminish it. I mean, it's cute, and they got the cowbell thing, but there's 60,000 or whatever it is that fits in there. And I've been I've been everywhere in the SEC now except for Auburn and Texas, which I feel like Texas shouldn't count yet since we've not played them. But there are very few places that are truly like SEC, and like it or not, Florida's one of them.
Yep.
And it's just like going into Death Valley and winning there, coming into Neyland and winning is a big deal. Like Georgia, Alabama, like there are certain like pillars of the conference where it's a big deal to go in and win in somebody's house. And again, I know Florida sucks. I know that like every other team in the conference has done it. Vanderbilt's won down here, you know, prior to tonight more recently than we had, but there's history to it. It's not just a game. Like it is a game, but there's the mental factor. Like it's just such a weight off of my shoulders. And to Gator Chomp, oh my God, it's just the best.
Were you taunting those people, Maggie, at the end, or were you being
Tony,
a good fan, a good sport about it?
Tony, I had my arms around the neck of the Gator statue outside the stadium.
She taunted all 10,000 of those fans in the fourth quarter, Tone.
The entire 10,000 who were left?
The way that I was anticipating the I Won't Back Down fourth quarter song, I've been looking forward to that for years. And, you know, I guess they started probably doing it maybe 2021 or two. I don't know. But as that was approaching, I was like, oh, my God, I can taste it. I'm so excited. And then it was just, obviously, like, we didn't score, but at the half, I was like, there's no way. And if there was some godforsaken reason, like how, and like obviously the South Carolina Texas A&M thing last week, like Texas A&M is actually good. Florida doesn't have enough of a pulse to have come back from that. But like even if that had happened, like I don't think I would have made it back to Knoxville, truthfully. So it wouldn't have really mattered regardless. But anyway, I'm just thrilled, and I hope to not come back down here for a really long time. Somehow it's November and it's humid and it smells like swamp, and you can tell like all of the students that go here are not from here. It's a bunch of transplants.
Yes.
I had a guy yelling at me walking out of the stadium, yelling at me and my friends, and he's like, can you guys even spell Tennessee? Can you even spell Tennessee? He said, how many N's are in Tennessee? And I said, how many L's are in Florida?
Maggie, thank you. She's a trip, y'all. I'll tell you who's a trip is this Nico guy. Hey, Sean, how appropriate is it that Nico's playing out the string, going to win 3 games? They got USC next week, but they're getting absolutely whacked right now in their building. He just fumbled the ball. They didn't call it a fumble. I guess they said the ground can't cause a fumble. I don't know. He laid the ball on the ground right there. That was absolutely
that was a Sterner play.
That was an absolute fumble. But how appropriate is it that we're watching this guy do whatever in the hell it is he's doing while our guy tonight led us to a win down in Gainesville?
Well, you got to feel so good for Joey Aguilar. I mean, it was a trade. UCLA, which is a complete poser program right now.
Yep.
He basically told him to hit the bricks. We've upgraded with this clown, and just send him on his way. He comes here. But the even better thing about this whole thing is that his family's calling Texas Tech, Miami, anybody that'll listen to get him out of there. That kid's not going to be on that program come January. He's going to be somewhere else. And his dad is just trying to pimp him out like some South American daughter trying to get the best deal he can.
By the way, Matt, you handle this super chat. Crawdad Watson said, Josh Heupel used to be a kill you coach early, and he changed. Is that true, Matt? Was he a kill you coach early in his tenure here?
I mean, we took deep shots a lot those first 2 years. Defenses have adjusted to him, obviously, and he's trying to play complementary football now. I mean, you're trying to win games. Winning games is the key here, not putting video game numbers up every game. And you just you ran the clock out tonight, and I mean, there's some truth into that, but I would rather the guy be a serious football coach and try to make playoffs and win big games than just put video game numbers up when you can.
I feel you. Back to our phones we go. Fair response from Matt Dixon. Hello and welcome into our next call. It's Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, Doug in Jacksonville celebrating my first win in Gainesville.
Wow. You can actually exhale, man.
Exactly. The wait is over. It's sweet. Oh, my God, it's so sweet.
Awesome, dude.
And just like Brian said, if you're gonna take the title, you got to knock them out. You got to have a blowout, and we had a blowout.
When you score 31 points in the first, 18 and a half minutes of play and don't score again, and they don't come close to even getting back in the game, I'd say it's a blowout.
Oh, my goodness. It was so sweet. It's so sweet. And where was this defense most of the year? But, yeah, I don't care if Florida quit or whatever, but we looked awesome tonight, looked motivated. Luckily, those ticket prices were dropping like crazy, so I had a really good seat. And you could tell that those players from Tennessee, that our boys were focused and ready, and they wanted to end this streak. So this was a big deal to them. So I just love the way that they just answered the call that our fans had. And you'll never put me on your winners and losers show, because I was telling everybody, bet your house that we won't cover and we won't win this game. Just, the battered ball syndrome.
Why were you all so I just couldn't figure it out all week. I mean, I get it. Look,
I just thought we were going to see their Georgia type or Mississippi type effort, not the Kentucky effort. Urban Meyer was going to be in the building, which that was a big flop. I thought they were going to have Urban Meyer in the pregame.
Yep.
He didn't come in until in between the first and second quarter, and I got to be honest, he got like a very lukewarm greeting from the Florida fans. I thought they were going to love him. They were they were a little lukewarm to him. They weren't too happy to see him, to be honest with you.
That's interesting. So they didn't welcome him back like a conquering hero, huh?
I didn't know. It was not. I thought it would just be a huge ovation, and it was not. It was. I like I said, lukewarm would be putting it a little nicely for him.
Matt, does that surprise you that they gave him a tepid reception?
Yeah, a little bit. So that is kind of interesting.
I wonder what that's about. That's an interesting little thing to
they might not have realized they were honoring him when they did. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, or maybe they held him responsible for that first half, because I hear he gave the pep talk. I think he gave the same pep talk that he used when the Jags got beat. I think it was by about 55 points on Monday Night Football one night, Bri.
I wonder if he went up to their kicker and kicked him in the rear.
Kicked him in his balls. Yeah. Real likable guy.
Tony, it probably wasn't all, but he gave like a minute, like a 3-minute TV timeout, but he gave like a minute speech, and after the speech, it was just like nothing. It's just weird.
Oh no! Do you think he was supposed to be there before the half, but he was macking on some young kid outside?
Well, his wife was with him, so beside him.
Yeah, but a guy like him would say, hey, to one of his friends, hey, would you distract her for a few minutes? I got business over here to take care of.
Well, Tony, it was a
great night. Didn't have another heart attack.
Can I do something before I get off? Give me like 1 minute.
Please.
I want to I've been working on some impersonation, so help me out. Happy birthday, Titansville. And that's effect with my hand up. Have a great night.
Thank you, my brother. Good talking to you. We celebrated Billy's birthday yesterday at Calhoun's on the River, where we'll be coming up. It's going to be utterly next level. And, tonight, go for Dos, ladies and gentlemen. Go for Dos. My friends at Dos Equis Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York. Make it a part of every one of your football weekends. And then we got all kinds of great NFL stuff coming up as well. But you will go for dos. 2025 Cervezas Mexicanas. And shout out to Shane yesterday. It's great seeing him and his boys down yesterday down at Calhoun's on the river. But that is that Lager Especial. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. We'll go back to our phones. Still haven't heard from Nega Dave. Brian, I'm surprised. I thought he'd be the first call on tonight to celebrate this win over Florida, didn't you?
Florida beat? Guess what? Florida got mollywop.
Hello and welcome into our next
Spot the
call.
ball.
Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's RD. It's Stony Creek.
Hey, RD and Stony Creek. Welcome in.
Hey, buddy, I'm proud of these boys tonight. How easy would it have been to go down there knowing you probably out of the playoffs and just lay an egg? But they didn't. They answered the call.
I totally agree. It's always a fear with any of these teams, man, when you get eliminated that some are going to check out on you.
I'm proud of Joey for getting that signature win. I think he really needed that this year.
Mm-hmm.
Proud of all of them for how hard they played. Waiting on Nega Dave to call. I'm anxious to see what his complaint is tonight.
Oh, I'm sure it's something about taking the foot off the gas and blah, 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 and there you go.
But really, though, when's the last time we've sat at home looking at that stupid-looking Gator at midfield and knew that we had the game on cruise control?
That would be never for me when we've played down there. In fact, I looked up Florida's largest comeback in their school history, and it was that 1995 game when we were up 31-3 on them. Came out after halftime and kicked a field goal on them, and after that, they just steamrolled us.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, that bunch down there in Gainesville gets everything they got coming to them.
Oh, amen, brother.
Hey, like my good buddy Neckbeard Whitson said, old Lane Kiffin's playing them like a fiddle.
Dude, in my hair growing days, I had the best neck beard going, man. You could tell Neckbeard Whitson, he'd had nothing on my neck beard, but these days, I'm follically challenged.
Hey, he called it, Tony, and I'll tell you one thing, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I hope Florida hires another dud.
Amen. I'm afraid they're going to get this Jed Fish guy, and I think he's a pretty damn good coach. But, you know, here's the trouble with this league. Somebody's got to lose. Like, there are going to be a lot of good coaches in the league, and somebody's got to lose, you know? But Lane Kiffin to LSU, that'd be a pretty good hire for them, I think. But then again, what's Lane Kiffin done? How many championships has he won? Our guy's more accomplished than he is.
I'll tell you one bunch, in my opinion, Tony. I think hit a home run. That bunch up there in Blacksburg. I think they got them a coach, James Franklin.
That's a great. Yeah, he's gonna if he wins, if he does what he did at Penn State, they'll live right around the playoffs out of that league. Yeah, I agree with that.
Absolutely, buddy. Hey, back to the balls. We ain't done yet, Tony. We got business to take care of next week.
Oh, it's gonna be a hell of a game, isn't it?
It's going to be a war, Tony.
That's going to be one of the all-time great Vanderbilt. Really. And, you know, we've been saying for years and years around here that it would be really fun to have an in-state rival. Well, I'll tell you what, we've got one this year. That's a damn great game to look forward to over the Thanksgiving weekend. That's going to be a hell of a game.
Exactly right. See if Nega Dave's on one of them lines, Tony. I want to hear what he's got to say, and go balls.
Thank you, my brother. I don't. He's a clown. My friends at Waterside Contracting, your ticket, ladies and gentlemen. 25 years of making dreams come true for hundreds in our area. We're going to feel this week what it feels like to have an in-state rivalry. Matt, you know that? A real football in-state rivalry is what this thing's going to feel like over that holiday.
Yeah, best team in Vandy history.
Yep.
With a potential playoff spot on the line.
Yep.
So, you know, it should be a whole lot of fun. Should be a pretty high-scoring game.
Ha.
The latest line I saw, Tennessee -4.5.
Wow, that's surprising.
And Florida's even favored in their game next week. That's how bad their opponent is.
Well, I'll tell you
Did you watch Florida State against NC State?
They were really, really impressive.
They muffed back-to-back punts. Mm-hmm. It's incredible.
Who's the kid that had the ball hit him in his head, Matt? Because I don't know that I've seen
I don't know,
that.
but Squirrel White's the one who muffed the second one.
Oh, no, Squirrely. And it was right there at winning time. The game was still very much in doubt. The up man that had the ball hit him, though, not only did it hit him in the head, but it hit him
like 30 yards backward. It wound up being like a 0-yard punt.
Thank you. A 0-yard punt. Kind of like.
And I think the punter recovered it.
What was the game? There was a game tonight I was watching where a kid punted a ball 12 yards. I think it was in the Missouri-Oklahoma game. It was one of those. All these games run together. Oh, well. My friends at Waterside Contracting, they are your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true. There are hundreds in our area that can attest to that. Whether it's custom homes, whether it's remodels. Build on your lot. They'll do incredible work for you. They do it all over our area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. And just great folks, too. Waterside Contracting, LLC.com. You can check out the link over at tclub.team and for more information. But that guy, and Matt gets to breathe easy tonight because we had a guy last week, wanted to whoop a man's ass. He wanted to whoop my ass. He wanted to whoop Matt's ass if we didn't win the game. And he was personally holding both of us responsible. So you're going to hold me something that's done responsibly. Maybe doing my child's pose properly. Maybe my bridges. All right, there ain't a lot athletically I'm doing these days with my back.
Well, who calls in first, that guy or Nega Dave?
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Boys, Bobby. Hope you're well.
Welcome
Thanks for being there for always.
Brother. Good to talk to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. There's plenty to be negative about today. So I'm surprised Nega Dave hasn't called in. I mean, even Dave can find the the fart in the popcorn. But there's a few things to be negative about. I really wish we'd crushed their larynx. You know, you put your foot on their throat, you end them, and we didn't. I wanted to beat them by 50, Tony. Mm-hmm. The amount of shit we've endured from them for the last 36 straight years. Mm-hmm. How cool would it have been? We could have done the coolest thing ever when we were up 31-3 and bookended the beginning of this series and the end of this series with a 45-3 win. We could have done that.
Absolutely. If the head coach would have felt like doing it, that's exactly what would have happened. Yep.
Now, if his reasoning is he didn't want to get anybody hurt and we got a big game next week that we have to win, I'm fine with that. I am.
Yeah,
and,
I'm sure that's what they're doing because you're already thin. So why expose yourself?
Right. I hope that's what they're doing. How about that? I hope that's their excuse.
Yeah.
The defense actually looked pretty good in the first half. Man, we were up 30 points, I think. At the time, I legitimately believe we were up 31-0, and we were blitzing 8 guys on the 3rd and 7. I love it.
Hey,
there was some killer instinct out there tonight in the first half.
Absolutely.
We got to get a new kicker. The kid's just not very good, and that's okay. Highest percentage in school history, but whatever. And then looking across the landscape of college football, though, Tony, you and I said this. I think it was before the season, even maybe, or maybe the second week. Said if Joey football can get us to 9 wins, I said 10 or get us to the playoffs. You said 9. That you thought he'd go in folklore status. He has a chance to prove that he's the best Mexican quarterback in the state of Tennessee next week. Would you agree?
Well, I appreciate the call. Let's 865-200-5402. So this gentleman, John Doe 2799, Tony, it's weird to say Joey Aguilar is in my top 5 Tennessee quarterbacks of all time. I'm 38, so I can't speak to older generations, but without a doubt in his lifetime, nothing wrong with that as far as I'm concerned. I mean, here's the thing about Joey Aguilar. This is what I know. He rescued our season. Now, he got paid handsomely to do it. Okay, fine. But he was discarded by UCLA, who are getting run right now. Run. In their building. 3 turnovers in the first half. Should have been 4. Nico Suna going to leave you. Sucking out loud. And a win like tonight, and Sean, a win like tonight does It etches you in a folklore kind of thing, I think. I'm not even sure you have to win next week to be etched in the folklore. You ended the 20-game streak. If you're Joey Aguilar, you went 8-4. If you would lose next week, okay, whatever. I mean, I want to lose that game, but I'm talking about him now. His legacy is he saved our season, and tonight they went and did something that we haven't done in 20 years.
Totally agree. I don't know where he is, statistically. I don't know where he is, as far as win percentage, stats. I don't know, but for coming in as he did, I can't say it better. He rescued us, and he's played better than we could have hoped the former guy would have developed in playing.
Yep.
I don't know. Is he Hendon Hooker? Is it Peyton Manning? What? I don't know. I don't think so. But you know what? I don't know if Hendon Hooker would have taken this team right now to where they are. I don't know what Manning could have done. I mean, they're better players, but Joey Aguilar came in here in less than 3 months and is about poised to go to 9-3 and maybe a 10-win season. With the youngest team in the SEC right now, I think that's fantastic. I agree. I think if he's a folk legend, from now on, so be it. And I hope, honestly, I know we've got 5 stars coming in and sitting on the bench, but I hope he wins his lawsuit, and I hope he's our starting quarterback next year.
865-200-5402. It's what and really guys like Aguilar are what that sport's still all about. And to some extent the Pavia guy too. I mean, he's joined that guy's suit. You think about this for a second, okay? What would that Vanderbilt team be without that Pavia guy? And I know a lot of you hate him. I like guys that respect the sport. And that son of a gun plays hard. And our guy plays hard. Those guys respect the opportunity. You know why? Because they started way down there. And at both spots they're at, it's the best spot they've been. Now, Bobby Wilder today, whose team went undefeated and into the playoffs, they get their draw, I think, tomorrow or Monday. But Bobby Wilder over at Tennessee Tech, who just finished an undefeated season today, beating Jason Simpson and Tennessee Martin, who I think are also going to go into the playoff. But Bobby said, I look for kids. I don't want kids that come out of Division I. I want guys that this is the highest level they've played at. So this is the best thing they know. You know, that kind of makes sense if you stop and think about it.
Joey Aguilar was a no-star, Tony B.
No star.
Think about that. Everybody, if you have a profile, you at least get a 2 or 3 star. He was a no-star who walked on at junior college.
And Pavia was as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
2 no-star quarterbacks in maybe one of the signature games of the SEC season next week.
Matt, I'm telling you.
That really is a really interesting point you guys bring up, how those 2 guys have navigated where they're at, and they've taken full advantage. And, in Pavia's case, kind of resurrected a program to their best season ever. And Aguilar saved our season and kept this positive train rolling, even though we're going to miss the playoffs.
And I respect the hell out of both guys, man.
And they've won 17 games combined in the toughest league in the country.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Brian. That's exactly
9 and 8 wins.
That's exactly right. Let's go back to our phones and get our next call in. 865-200-5402. TLD Logistics phone line. It's Garza Law. 5th quarter fan reaction presented by Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm. Hi, you're on the air. Welcome in.
Hey, Tony, it's Sergio.
Hey, Serge. Welcome in.
Hey, Tony, my first encounter with the University of Florida football program was when I was 4 years old in 1969, and Doug Dickey forsook us to become the coach there. And I don't remember the Gator Bowl game, but I do remember my devout Southern Baptist mother calling Doug Dickey names that I'd never heard her ever use the rest of my life. She was that big of a Tennessee fan. But the series, Tony, the series became real for me in 1987. I moved to Jacksonville, and I had a license plate cover that said 1985 SEC champs on the front and back of my car. And I had lived in Jacksonville for a month. And I pulled into a parking lot to have lunch, and this little old lady gave me the double birds when I pulled into my parking spot. And about 2 weeks before the season started, I was at a red light, and a Florida State trooper pulled up beside me on a motorcycle and tapped on my window. And I rolled my window down, and he said, if you'd gone 1 mile per hour over the speed limit or had not used a proper signal, I would have pulled you over for that license plate.
Oh, he was kidding.
Yeah, he was. It was funny. He laughed. We laughed about it. It was hilarious.
Although you never know. With some people, you never know.
Exactly. It was hilarious. So, this win tonight means a lot because I lived amongst them, like Doug in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacksonville is horrible because it's Georgia and Florida. So you get a double dose.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so happy for Joey Aguilar. I wanted to score 65 on these guys, but 31-11, I'll take it all day long. And next week, I'll be in attendance for that game. And I've been going to Vanderbilt games for 55 years.
What a great
I hadn't been to all of them. Hadn't been to all of them. But I'm not going to say it out loud, but there's something I've never witnessed. And I promise I will not witness it next week.
How about that, my friend? We'll be on here celebrating a 9-3 finish and going to a Florida bowl game. And who knows? Maybe sneaking in the playoff conversation at 9-3. I don't think that's possible, but
they could get into like the last couple left out.
I guess you win, and you could do it. You do what South Carolina did last year, and touch it a little bit.
But think about it, guys. In July, we thought 9-3. Depending on who you talk to, 9-3 was going to be impossible to reach, or it was going to be underachieving. And in September, when you take stock of where we were with our defensive injuries and a brand new quarterback, you've been saying it for several weeks, Tony. This is a magnificent coaching job.
Oh, no
if
question.
we get to 9-3,
Yep.
and I totally agree.
Yep. Yeah, it's what you did tonight. You gave yourself an opportunity.
Enjoy it.
That. I totally.
Tennessee fans enjoy it.
Sergio,
thanks,
thank
brother.
You. Enjoy yourself next week at the game. You and several thousands that'll be there. Because really, next week's game's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing. The way these two quarterbacks have elevated and played and elevated their teams, and the fact that, I don't know, in a weird way, does Tennessee get a chance to play spoiler? We'll talk about that next week. I don't know that you can say that. I mean, Tennessee has a lot to play for, too. Because there are no guarantees in this thing. You go out there next week and whack Vandy. I mean, it's a crazy sport. Who knows? I think the Vols are eliminated. But who really knows? You got to play it out, I guess. And then there's scenarios on the board where Vandy comes in here and wins next week, and they get left behind still. So, who knows? I know one thing. It is highly apropos, and who can look into the future? But if you'd have told all of us in May, Brian, Matt, Sean, Eric, who will be with us later on, and whomever else joins, but anybody of the thousands listening to us, that we'd be sitting here at the very end of the season with a 31-11 win at Florida for the first time in 20 years, and watching a guy that left us who's losing 20-0 at halftime. He's 8 of 15 He has 58 yards passing in the first half and turned the ball over one time. I mean,
there is some irony in the fact that they win the game like they do at Florida, then we get to watch Nico.
Yeah, no question. You can't make that
shut
up.
Out.
You can't make that up, especially since he was out last week, and then he comes back for this game, and he should have stayed out for this game.
And the records are going to be reversed. I mean, 8-3 to 3-8 for them.
Yes.
Hey, do you get Rob Lewis vibes looking at Jed Fish? He looks like Rob Lewis with those glasses.
I love Clone's imitation of Rob Lewis. Hello and welcome into our next call. And I love Rob Lewis, by the way. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air on our TLD Logistics phone lines. Hi.
Hey, guys. Dave.
Hey, Dave. Good to hear from you tonight, buddy.
Hey, I am elated that we won tonight. I really am. Now, did I get mad that Heupel did what he did in the second half, did what he did right before halftime? Yeah, I got mad about that because I just did. Because I'm telling you, you can't score enough points in these games. You can't take the foul pedal. Now, is Florida playing dead? Yeah. Were they ever going to come back? No, they were never coming back. So I understand what he did in a way. But I'm happy we won the game. I really am.
So you sign off on it, Dave. You sign off on him taking the foot off the pedal. And by the way, Cinco, the offensive coordinator at UCLA, who's a Swedish woman, looks like a member of their curling, the Swedish curling team out there as their offensive coordinator. Have we broken like a gender thing, or what are we doing out here tonight? Who is that young lady out there? Because I wish her well, man.
I think that is a transition type deal.
Dave, continue. I walked him into that. I'm sorry to those listening. Dave, continue.
I really do hope we win next weekend. I think that's the bigger game now. I mean, I'm glad we won this game. I don't think we would have won next Saturday if we didn't win this game. So that's half the chore's over.
Agree.
So, but I'm elated. Hey, to the guy that said he lived down in Jacksonville in 1985.
Yep.
We won the SEC that year only because Florida was on probation. We both ended up with the same record in conference, and they had to head against us. So thank goodness they were on Charlie Pell.
The Charlie Pell days. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and of course, that's the last time I went to a regular season game down there.
Yes.
Of course, we already talked about the infamous license plate, so we're not going to get into all that tonight. But I'm glad we won. I'm not going to be negative. I'm glad we won. I hope we win next weekend. And I hope that Joey wins his lawsuit because that will save a lot of trouble going out and finding a quarterback because you really can't go into next year with a freshman quarterback.
So you'd welcome him back? You'd welcome him back, Dave?
Oh, my gosh, yeah, because he knows he can function in the system.
And he'd have an entire offseason, too.
Right. He functions in the system. And Heupel has had a lot of trouble finding a guy that can function in the system.
Yes.
He's only had two. This is the second guy, and he ran into both of them.
Yes.
Hooker and this guy. And you can't – I don't care if he's a 0-star. Georgia won 2 national championships with a 5'10" quarterback because he could run their system.
Dave, you get no argument from me. I would take him – I take him 20 out of 20 times over the show pony at UCLA, which is what that kid is. He's a show pony. Because all he does, when you run the race, he sucks. But he looks good until he gets up to that starting gate. He looks like a damn world champion till you run the race. And by the way, DR, somebody wants credit because DR said earlier something about a Swedish woman. You did say that, but you didn't use it properly. I took your work, DR, and I added a member of the curling team, the Swedish curling team, because the Winter Olympics are around the corner. So I'll half you on that. And then Cinco, he took what you and I were throwing down, and he rolled it in a joint and smoked it. Because he reminded me of my old Foster Grant lenses I used to have back in the day, Cinco. when it would get dark at 3:30 in the afternoon in Pennsylvania. And I was out in center field with my Foster Grant transition lenses on. And
no one rocks transitions lenses like you, Tony B.
And let me tell you something. That was not a pretty picture when they're hitting fly balls at you in center field and you can't see anyway. But let's get our...
Yeah, but if anybody would have seen you in the late 80s with that Italian fro, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's
get in all seriousness. Yeah. I'm glad Dave called in and was positive and was kind of even laughed at one point, which is funny. But I'm glad that he could enjoy this, because if you're upset about the second half tonight and want to complain about winning in Gainesville and being so dominant in the first half that you literally didn't even try to score in the second, like if you're upset with that, like I feel sorry for you if you can't enjoy tonight. So I'm really glad Dave did call in and was happy.
I agree with that, Matt.
I thought that they were going to have to open up some wrinkles. They only really did one, and that was the direct snap to Mike Matthews. He ran 20 yards inside the goal line,
God, that was
or inside the 5.
That was
and I think they got more. They got more now. The second half, they didn't have to open up some. They could save some stuff for Vandy. I kind of like that.
8-6.
Oh, how about that? How about that inside screen to Ethan Davis?
That was
new.
So pretty.
That was awesome.
That was so pretty.
Ethan Davis, to me, set the tone first play of the game when he made that catch over the middle that got him a first down, and then he's finished the drive off with a touchdown. Ethan Davis, to me, this offense runs so much better when he's the focal point at tight end.
ED, man. ED is good. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, this is Mac from Rockwood. How are you?
Hey, Mac from Rockwood. Welcome in, brother.
Well, I'm just elated tonight, Tony. It's just hard to describe. We haven't won down there since I was 8 years old, so it's kind of hard to really put the words how it feels.
Wow, that's cool.
It's just hard to describe, but I just love watching the show, and I've had you on my TV here for the last you've been going for an hour and a half now.
You laugh and giggle at it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard not to. I started watching your Twitch stream. It's hard not to enjoy the camera feeds, and especially on when you have John Adams on there, you have two of them.
Oh, my gosh. And we're making faces at each other and everything else.
Yeah, and you're spiking the camera the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. But anyway, man, it's just, like I said, it's just hard to put into words. I just don't know how, I didn't mean to mention it. I don't know how I can follow up, normal Dave calling in. It's hard to follow that up. If he can't be negative, I don't know how you can be after a game like this.
Well, look, the thing about these games the thing we've learned here is that you've got to take the good times and you've got to savor them as a fan base and celebrate the good times and just appreciate how hard the sport is, how hard those kids work. I appreciate how many Florida fans showed up, because I was wrong about that. I didn't think their fan base was a show-up type of fan base, and we were told this week that people were going to give tickets away, and there would be a bunch of people in there that would appreciate being in there, which is probably what happened. But we had several thousand people go down there tonight. I mean, our fans are just so freaking cool.
Yeah, I don't know how you could. If it were me, I don't know how you could go down there after 20 years of us losing down there and inventing new ways to win or new ways to lose every year. So but I was like you. I was hoping we'd just blow the doors off of them because I'm sure they would have done that to us. I wanted to hang 60 on them, but. It's not like I think either Matt or maybe even Sean said this earlier. It's even worse when the defense like ours. It's almost even worse than a blowout like that because you had a defense like ours that gave up 34 to Kentucky.
Yep.
And they can't even put up more than 11 against our defense, which I thought our defense played very, very well tonight. I thought compared to the norm for the rest of the season so far. So it just sets up the next week, which. I've been dreading next week's game, I think, all season.
It's going to be a classic, man. We're going to have to play, and Bino said it, we're going to have to play our best football game we've played all year to beat those guys.
Yeah, we'll have to.
That's a good thing.
I think like y'all been saying all week, too, we played a clean game tonight. We had we have like 3 penalties, I think, all night.
Clean.
And one of them we just, what was it? I think it was a that false start before we decided to punt it, like right down to the 1, I think for like the second time in a row.
Yes.
I think. And what I found funny, I don't know if y'all mentioned this, but Florida ran the ball, it seemed like, for the entire third quarter just to get that field goal. I think they may have said it on the air, but I think they ran like a total of like 8 or 9 minutes off the clock in that one drive. Compared to what we were doing, I think they had just given up too, it seemed like.
The Vols,
I don't know if they threw the ball that whole quarter.
They were working for the field goal, and they were going to run a play, and then we took a timeout.
Yeah.
And then after we took a timeout, they said, "Screw you, we'll just kick a field goal then."
Kick the field goal. Yeah. I'm just the only other thing I really could think of is I'm just so glad that Joey Aguilar finally has, like you said, a signature win, because this is a signature win. I mean, he's up there with Casey Clausen now as being one of the few quarterbacks that's went down there and drained the swamp. I don't know if it's. I don't know why. I really want to. I'd love to give him a nickname for this. Like the swamp drainer or the gator slayer or something. But before I hop off there, I didn't want to do one kind of stupid thing real quick. Since he's from California. Tony, we watched Joey Aguilar, the Californian quarterback, come all the way down from Knoxville tonight and drain the swamp for the first time in 22 years, and it was wonderful. I think now you can finally say he's a certified Terminator, coming directly from Arnold Schwarzenegger himself.
Thank you, my man. Great talking to you in beautiful Rockwood. Feeling good in Rockwood tonight. Feeling good in Rockwood. Rockwood is good.
It should be pointed out that over the last month, the defense has looked a lot better, starting with that Oklahoma game. And they've only given up 20 points the last 2 games.
Fight on, Tim Banks. The fighting Tim Banks.
It helps when you play bad offenses.
Thank you.
I mean, they have improved some, but a big part of it is they're playing teams that can't move the ball at all.
Matt said it. I didn't. I don't want to say it, but I'm glad Matt said it. Tonight, Tennessee committed 4 penalties for 25 yards. You can live with that. Florida, tonight, Tennessee accepted 0. Let me see. How many penalties did Florida commit tonight, guys? What is the number?
I think they committed 3. Of course, that one big one in the hold that wiped out a big game, their first drive, that was huge.
That's it. And that was the big play of the game. And then they had a false start later on. Let's go back to our phones at 865-200-5402.
This was a game where a lot of the trends and things just didn't show up because they didn't matter because of how just lopsided the game. I mean, the game was over early in the second quarter.
Yes.
Braylon Staley, I think he only had 1 catch.
Yep.
He was kind of a non-factor. Neither quarterback turned the ball over at all, which we talked about might be a big factor in the game. I mean, it was just kind of a snooze fest because Tennessee dominated so much early.
The Connexio
Tennessee won time of possession.
Yep.
Just ran the clock. I mean, it just told a lot of trends were broken tonight. To where the stats kind of don't even matter in a game like this.
Connexio drive of the game, Knoxville's own transportation logistics tech company. Connexio Kristen, shout out. Great seeing you and Sammy earlier in the week. But the My 20 drive of the game, that Connexio platform, I mean, they're just getting it done. And we want your fleet to be more efficient. We want drivers on our roads safer. KONEXIAL.com/Tony. You will drive life with Connexio. Go, Vols, go, they want to say. The Connexio drive of the game tonight. Brian Hartman earlier said he believed that the first touchdown to Davis was the drive of the game. That was the T3 TD of the game, actually. To me, the drive of the game was Tennessee's second drive. It started at their 40. It comprised 8:46. It ends in a touchdown. Actually, 7 plays, 60 yards. In 3:13, 8:46 on the clock when they got the ball. And let me tell you something. Game was over. Game was straight up OV to the E. to the R, over. And Nico's down on the field right now, and that's your Connexial drive of the game. Drive life with Connexial, and go Vols.
He may not get up from this. He may have to sit the rest of the night.
That's a scary scene. That's a scary scene. Nobody wants to see a kid get hit like that. I got distracted in the middle of my talking about Connexial there because I looked up and saw that, and this is Matt why we don't play behind bad offensive lines. You know what I mean? Because he just got cremated by not one, not two, but three guys. And I mean, he got his head crushed. He got his leg back bunt over him, and he got his neck all twisted up.
You know, obviously he's not done very well tonight, and they're getting blown out. But he had no real reason to even go back out there and play this game.
No, you're right.
I mean, didn't play last week. He could have easily mailed it in. So, I mean, at least he was going out there trying to play. I mean, not very good, and they're totally overmatched and getting blown out. But
and they just showed him
get hurt.
No, and they just faded to black there on television like it was professional wrestling or something, Matt. I don't know that I've ever seen somebody fade to black like that.
It's like the Sopranos ended that way.
They just faded to black. I wish I could make that up, but hello and welcome into our. You're on Garza Law 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. Hi.
Hey Tony, it's Dane. How's it going?
Hey Dane, good to talk to you, brother.
Good talking to you too. You know, it's hard to not be in a good mood leaving your first trip to Gainesville with a win. So.
How about you, man? You're 1 for 1. You need to retire as a champion, my man.
I mean, it didn't seem that difficult tonight, but well,
you guys made it look easy down there.
Yeah. I do want to give a little bit of a shout out to the crowd down there. The most impressive thing from the entire game from the Florida fan base was right after halftime when they had about 40 yards of shirtless men swinging their shirts around up there. Far more entertaining than anything Florida put on the field.
I mean, Dane, the amount of redneckness in their fan base and Yankee redneckness is so appreciated by me.
Yeah, it was an experience, that's for sure. It was kind of fun messing with them. Some of them are all still sad about Kiffin. Very few of them think they still have a chance at it. So it was that was fun. But
so they know in their fan base, Dane, they know they've lost him.
Majority of the ones that I've talked to, they think they're out of it.
Who knows? The way college football is so crazy, they might end up with a better coach. The way this thing is going, because the weird thing about the sport is these conventional can't miss hires miss, and the hires that look like they're not good hires or who the hell is that guy end up doing well. We're in a really strange time right now.
One of the guys down there mentioned that they'd be afraid to bring somebody in like Summerall from Tulane just because of the Sun Belt Billy comparison. So they feel like they're kind of burned at this time. But, I hope they keep losing 8 games a year every year.
It's interesting. Matt, they won't do the Summerall thing, will they, for that reason? They can't go small, can they?
Well, that and he's a defensive coach, and they've had, a couple of years of just a atrocious offense under Napier.
Yep.
So they kind of have to make an offensive coach to get some excitement back down there. So, yeah, but, Summerall is a pretty solid coach, and I think he's kind of been pegged to Auburn for a while.
Yep.
Well, Tony, out the door, I'm glad to see Joey get a win. It's been a long time since we won down there. If we're going to win every time I can get down there, I'm going to make sure to go here again in a couple of years when we get the chance. So, thanks for your time and have a good night.
Thank you, Dame. Drive safely. I always love hearing those folks on the road and how we're keeping them company. That's something we take very seriously. 865-200-5402 if you want to get in the hunt in the mix with us. And all my life, I've wanted to see one of these games of consequence around Thanksgiving with my team. You could say, well, Tony, last year was a game of con. Sure, it was. Okay. It was. And Tennessee started slow in that game and then threw the foot on their gas and blew out a Vanderbilt team. I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot more meat on Vanderbilt's bone this year than when we played them last year. That quarterback looks a lot sharper and fresher. Their passing game is a lot better than it was last year. And it looks to me like their line play on both sides of the line of scrimmage is better than it was last year. That'd be my assessment from 10,000 feet of that Vanderbilt bunch. And Bino said it a couple weeks ago. I think he's right. We're going to play our best game of the year to get them. And I think best, that connotes to me cleanest football. The team that plays it clean next week's going to win that game. Because they're really good at the line of scrimmage. They have an older team, and they're pretty good. They really are. They're pretty good. So we'll go back to our phones if you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us. As we're about to hit the 1 o'clock hour in the Eastern Time Zone. Tennessee with a 31-11 win tonight. Tennessee with 452 yards to Florida's 261 yards. The Vols 204 yards passing, Florida 116, 248 yards rushing to 145. And as Matt Dixon said earlier, that Florida offense is a bad offense. Just a bad offense. And they were all beat up anyway, but Tennessee made those guys quit as well. But we'll go back to our phones. Before we do that, though, John Adams has now entered our room. Presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. John, you maniac, what are you doing up in the middle of the night, you maniac?
I'm normally up at this time of night. But yeah, I would have been on earlier. I've had all kinds of computer issues. Very, very frustrating. But enough of my personal problems. Yeah, that first half was amazing. It was like what Florida's done to Tennessee in some past games way back when. It looked like one of those Steve Spurrier teams just jumping on Tennessee at the outset, like it did in, I guess it was 96 and 94. It led 31-0 at halftime, and 94, 96, it jumped out to a 35-0 lead in the first 20 minutes. I mean, everything Tennessee did worked. Josh Heupel I thought he called as good of first half as he's ever called. He's had some really good ones, but I just thought it all worked. They got Ethan Davis involved. I mean, I was like, man, I wish that guy would have been healthy all year. He's a playmaker. And so, yeah, and everything, and the blocking was good. And when they didn't block, then the backs just broke tackles and made extra yards on their own. So it was a sort of a combination of being physically aggressive and also kind of the craftiness of the play calling. So they were tricked and hammered pretty much back and forth. I mean, and this is, we talk about Florida being competitive against Ole Miss, about it being competitive against Georgia, and beating Texas in Gainesville. But, man, this team on a bad day can be really bad. I mean, it's a 3-8 team, and it might end up 3-9. I'm not sure it can beat Florida State.
You can really unplug those guys, John, but you got to do things early. Like both the beat guys that we had on this week both said that if you get 2 scores ahead of them, at Kentucky, they just basically said, well, Coach, I'll tell you what, I'll see you. I'm going to go get on the bus, and I'm going to go to sleep. So you can go ahead and put the second team or the third team or the fourth team in, but we're going to go play some video games. This game's over, and we'll see you when the game's over. They kind of did that tonight.
Yeah, and what was so striking about it, Tony, because I'm, having covered this rivalry for so many years and seeing all these games and the way they've gone. I mean, Florida hadn't always won but it's always had for the most part, a real aggressive approach. Like you might can beat us, but boy, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of stuff. I mean, we're coming after you. I mean, it's been aggressive, taking charge of games. And tonight, in that second half, which was really just an epilogue to the game was already over. And to see Florida just go out there, okay, let's just try and run the ball, kill some clock, and not get beat by 50 points. That's what the third quarter looked like to me. Florida just waving a white flag on offense and saying, let's kill some time and let's don't embarrass ourselves, because I think Florida felt like we're going to lose by 60 points if we don't do something. And so it controlled the ball. Ball ran hard, ate up some clock. And so we just had a beat down, but not an utter embarrassment like that 59-20 Florida laid on Tennessee in 07.
And you know what, John? The truth is that was good enough for Florida, as you're pointing out here. They had zero designs. Like, hey, this is a crazy series. Let's get back in this. Let's make a play.
Yeah.
None of that. I mean, they didn't even try. And Heupel's over there going, okay. Like Matt said earlier, because people are somewhat frustrated, I think, that Heupel didn't, quote-unquote, blow them out. A 31-11 in this game, beating somebody by 20 points in that matchup down through the years, that's hammering somebody. I don't know what your expectation is. You basically double their yards. You let them run up and down the field in the second half. Who the hell cares? I mean, you want to settle for a long field goal attempt to keep your fake shutout streak, or you score in every game for 271 games. That's the most fugazi thing in the world. Like Matt pointed out a couple years ago in a bowl game, they were getting beat like 56-0 and lined up and kicked a field goal. I mean, if it means that much to you, right, John? Like, to me, if it means that much to you, that's what you're going to do. It's fugazi, man.
Yeah, and see, I remember in the 96 game here in Neyland. Spurrier jumped out a 35-0 lead in the first 20 minutes. And then he just didn't know what to do. He really didn't want to run up the score. I don't know why, because he ran up the score on people all the time. Maybe because it's such a high-profile rivalry and he'll be made out to be the bad guy, which he usually didn't mind being. But with Tennessee, I think it may have been because he's from Tennessee. But anyway, so he just fiddled around, and the final score that game was 35-29. And you would look at the game and say, well, boy, Tennessee gave it a great shot. What a comeback. But it wasn't that kind of comeback. It was just like, well, Florida's not doing it, but the clock's running and they're going to run out of time. They'll run out of time. But it was just odd. And tonight was a strange way to end this annual rivalry. They'll play each other frequently, but it won't be every year. And it's been such a tremendous rivalry, particularly when both teams were in the East. But it was just kind of weird the way that the second half went. Like, oh, the game's over, but we got to keep playing. Okay, we'll do it.
And there was no intensity. Matt, isn't that an interesting point? For all the panache and heat that this rivalry's had down through the years, the last 30 minutes of football were almost like watching like an NFL preseason game or something. It's really strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, the games that you have a bunch of rosters of guys who are transfers. They bounce around. They're not really, loyal to their school, and that they don't know the tradition and history of it. A lot of them. So I think the rivalry and all that kind of non-existent now, at least player-wise for the players. I mean, and the game was over. I mean, you thoroughly dominated them. They wanted to get the game over with just as quickly as you did. you need the high school running clock would have been fine in the second half. Florida probably would have agreed to that.
How embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, that's
That
just the team that they've got an interim coach that they're just trying to get the thing over with because they're not well prepared. How could you be? They have a lot of injuries. So, but for them to not give the effort that John's kind of talking about is true. And I just don't think they have enough team to do it. And, if Tennessee had kind of fooled around and kicked some field goals in the first half and had it, maybe you're only up 17-0 and Florida, scores on their opening drive of the second half. Maybe it's a different deal. The crowd gets into it and you have a couple of Aguilar turnovers. But Tennessee took that out of the equation by playing clean and being crisp offensively. So, and really, I joked about it during the week, but Florida gave their Tennessee effort earlier in the year when they played Texas, which, was early in the year, kind of the time they usually play Tennessee. They see this team in orange and white with a quarterback named Manning. They gave their Tennessee effort in that Texas game, and we got what everybody else gets from Florida every year, which, they get the hell beat out of them by Kentucky.
Well, also, Matt, when I look at it, Josh Heupel, when you think about the history of the series, because they started playing every year in 1990. Think about the history of the series. It involved Fulmer, Johnny Majors, all those other 4 guys that came through here. But when you look at that, Josh Heupel's this is only his 5th year, and he was 2-2 against Florida. So it's not like he looks at Florida as this monstrous program that's just dominating him, because I think if he did, he would have really stepped on the accelerator in that second half. If he looked at that game the way maybe Philip Fulmer did at one time, or the way so many Tennessee fans do, I really think he would have said, we got these guys down, we own them, and we're going to punish them. But he didn't, because it wasn't that. He just wanted to win the game, and it wasn't that as big a deal to him as it might have been to fans.
That's an interesting perspective, because he treats them almost like another game on the schedule, whereas to us, they are not another game on the schedule.
Well, they said on TV tonight that Josh Heupel had educated the players to the history of the series. But if he really felt that history that he was educating them to, I just don't think he would have let up in the second half. It's like, we're not playing them next year. Let's punish these guys. They have brought us so much misery. While I'm watching that game on TV, I thought of all the times I've been in that stadium. And for some reason, I remember plays in this series more so than anyone Tennessee plays, even more than Alabama and Georgia. And they were just flashing through my head. Arian Foster fumble, Felipe Franks hitting the last-second bomb, Eric Reck running. All those players tormented Tennessee. Yeah. And so if I would have been the coach in that situation, I would have been dialing up flea flickers, reverses.
He didn't do any of it.
No, he just said, "Okay,
you guys are another
this is
game.
How they want to play. We just want to get out of here, win the game."
Yep.
And
you keep the score down.
Go after Vanderbilt.
We win, we cover. And by the way, we have bigger fish to fry, which is another thing. It is without a doubt. We got bigger fish to fry next week. If I'd have told you that before the beginning of the season, you'd have said you are smoking wacko weed. That Vanderbilt
I picked Vanderbilt to be last in the SEC, and I knew how bad Mississippi State was. Well, no, I'm sorry. I picked Kentucky last, but I think I had Vanderbilt make 14th, okay? 14th. And I was just writing my column that will be published in the morning about Vanderbilt. And it's like, I go into that Kentucky game, I really thought Vanderbilt might lose this game. And then it hit me while I was watching the game. I just can't shake.
I can't either.
My image of what Vanderbilt is.
I can't either.
And it's even though I know it and I've watched them play all year, and I know this is a good team.
I know.
And I don't know if Tennessee can beat this team.
I know.
And but see the fans even more so. It's even harder for them. I just don't. I think fans will be outraged if Tennessee loses to Vanderbilt.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
They will just be outraged. I mean, they're used to losing to Florida in the swamp, but they just can't. It's impossible to do it. It's just like all these other examples. Indiana's a powerhouse in the Big Ten now. Texas Tech is a playoff contender. And now Vanderbilt is a playoff contender. It's just, even though you know it rationally, you just still think, yeah, but it's Vanderbilt.
Matt, do you agree with that? Do you agree? Let's go around the room on that for the panel. Because I do the same thing with Vanderbilt. I was thinking today, hey, you know what? Maybe
you've been chucking Pavia for 2 years, Tone. You don't do it to Vandy.
Well, I know I do. I thought Kentucky would have a chance to go in there and let Vandy be Vandy.
That was
That's the point. Claim. That's what he's talking about. I love the Pavia guy. I love guys like him. I think that's a great story.
No, they're really good. You don't go 10-2 in the SEC if you're not a pretty good team. I don't care what your schedule is, especially if you're Vandy. The last 3 or 4 games, really since the second half of that Texas game, their offense has kind of exploded.
Yes.
So they're playing better. Now their defense sucks.
Awful.
They might have the worst secondary in the league.
Awful.
Which says a lot.
Yes.
So it's, and they had a horrific game plan against Tennessee last year in Nashville. They let Nico pick them apart
to
show how bad they were.
Yeah.
But no, they can score. They're a really efficient offense. The way that they play, they ball control you. So they'll probably have the ball 38 or 40 minutes next week. And so it'll be a limited possession game where, luckily Tennessee has started to play pretty clean these last 3 or 4 games. Mm-hmm. And tonight you had no turnovers. You really can't afford to do that. So no, but like John said, they're a pretty. If you switch the jerseys of Florida and Vandy, would have a totally different outlook on the game next week.
You're right, and Matt, when you say that, and we might have talked about this Tuesday, but I really believe it, and I think Tony said this too, but I really believe if Alabama was on the back of Vanderbilt's jerseys and it finished 10-2. There's no way it wouldn't get in the play.
Correct.
Same schedule, same results.
Correct.
But I really think, and that's not fair. That's not right. And, but I could see that happening.
Well, I'll remind anybody listening that thinks that can't happen, that the playoffs are made for television. Therefore, if all things are equal, I'm putting a team in the playoffs that's going to draw eyeballs. And Nico is now leaving the field with a towel over his head and his uniform off. And there's 2:53 to go in the third quarter in a 34-7 lead, in a 34-7 game. And I mean to tell you, his last hit of the season was a Malachi crunch, as we used to call it in the days of.
I didn't even realize that game. Excuse me, but
John,
I didn't realize that game was on.
Oh, it's on, but it ain't on for him anymore. That poor guy. All right.
Who is UCLA playing?
They're down 34-7 to Washington.
That's right.
Georgia. This is Josh Carter on Twitter or on YouTube in a super chat. Georgia's Heupel's Florida of the 90s. That's the team he thinks about beating in the offseason. I think that's probably right. Up till now in his tenure.
100% it's right.
Yeah, I think that's
as you saw by how good Tennessee played them this year, that was their focus all offseason, especially since it was early in the year. No, that's a spot-on comment.
Spot on, brother. And war on to you. Power play on. Let's go back to our phones and get our next call in on your TLD logistics. Phone lines is Garza Law. Overdrive. No. It's Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Sunday. Rice fans. Hey, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Tony? Who's your ball runner?
There he is.
So excited for the Big Orange. So happy. What do you guys think was more ironic and fitting to close down the swamp on a L? Florida running the damn wing tee to kick field goals and get meaningless score touchdown at the end in honor of Steve Spurrier, ironically, or to honor a man of integrity and character like Urban Meyer, all those kids singing "I Won't Back Down" and then instantly walking out the stadium. What do you think was more fitting to close this bitch down?
I love "I Won't Back Down," and then in mass, just getting out of there like it's the worst gas attack they've ever smelled. I mean, that was what a great "I Won't Back Down, baby!" And then as soon as the song's over, we're all backing down and we're all getting out of here because this team sucks.
To the Purple Porpoise.
Yeah, we're going.
Yep, in honor of a man of integrity like Urban Meyer.
Yes.
I got that heart problem. The Buckeyes online too. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you in Columbus. Yeah, like old Fred Sanford with his fake heart attack. That was a great win, guys. Do you think it's more humiliating to beat someone into a pulp or to wrestle around with them like you do with like your little son when you're just playing with them? Because that's effectively what we did to the Gators. That after that 31 points, we're like, oh, we can just play fight the rest of the game. You're that bad. What do you think's more embarrassing?
It's a really good point, and the latter. I mean, when you really think about it,
if you're a competitor, it should be the latter. That should humiliate you.
It's totally embarrassing. Yes.
Well, I think it would have been worse though if Tennessee would have just kept pouring it on.
Oh, it would have been a lot worse, yeah.
Because that could have been Tennessee could have scored 50 to 9. I never thought in that first half of Florida, even when things didn't work, it worked out for Tennessee. Think about in the last few years, all the strip sacks have been so devastating to Tennessee.
Yep.
And here was a stripped sack, and they get Aguilar. He loses the ball, and he ends up getting the ball back. You just hardly ever see it the way that unfolded for him to get the ball.
And you score on the next play.
You
convert 3rd and 17 down to the 1.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Star Thomas, I mean, he just ran
previous ball running backs would have fumbled that ball through the end zone for a touchback, but Star Thomas luckily got his knee down.
That is correct, Matt. Everything that had to happen tonight happened for the Vols. And, hey, look, you have the first drive of the game. You get down the field, lickety split. We're really good, obviously, in these games of consequence. In that first drive, and score a touchdown, and they're on their heels, and then they come right out and make a big play, and they're deep in our territory. But no, there's a holding flag. And that's it for them. That was it for them. At that point, they're semi-unplugged. Tennessee scores. They're very unplugged. Then they have a strip sack down 21-0, like you guys are talking about. And if a defender gets over there and gets on that ball, all of a sudden it's 21-7. But somehow, when's the last time you guys saw a guy get strip sacked from behind like that and then get the ball? Because you never see that.
Happen.
You never see that. That never happens.
Hurt on the play.
That's right, John. That never.
That was probably.
Yeah.
That might be the biggest play of the game when you think about it.
Yeah,
I mean, the swing. Brian, you could have been up 14 conceivably, and then you're up 28 two plays later.
It just shows you why. And look, this guy's not a perfect quarterback. He can get loose with the ball and all this, but he tries so hard, and it means so much to him that people connect with him. And there is something to be said for that, because he fought like crazy to get on that football. And we're watching that UCLA game tonight. John, I want you tomorrow when we talk, I want you to go back and I'm gonna clip it and send you a clip of this fake field goal they ran.
UCLA?
Ryan's laughing because the kid that they faked the field goal to, John, the pitch was a little wide left, and instead of going back and getting on the ball, He made what we call a business decision and just stopped. And the defender picked it up and took it in for a touchdown.
John,
it was the worst.
They tried to pay homage to your LSU boys with the pitch over the head.
The swinging gate.
Field goal thing.
Swinging gate, pitch over the head, fake field goal. And he pitched it about 4 feet left of him. And the guy was like, screw you. I ain't getting near that
Even
ball.
Deshaun Foster thought that was a shitty play.
I tell you what, I was caught that LSU score, and
y'all beat Western
Kentucky. Barely
Kentucky?
beat Western Kentucky. Yeah. Tyson Helton is. It seems like he might be in a line. There's going to be a lot of movement with all the coaching changes.
Yep.
He might be in line for a better job. He's done a pretty nice job there at Western Kentucky.
Maybe gets the Arkansas job.
Out the door.
I think he's a really good offensive coach. He just had the unfortunate circumstances of working for Jeremy Pruitt.
Interesting.
Out the door, guys, and be honest. What are you more shocked by tonight? The Vols had some balls bounce their way in Gainesville, or Negative was positive tonight. What is more shocking to you?
Thank you. It's been a real red letter day on here. I'll tell you that. And the show's still young. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's another NFL Sunday, race fans, right? And my friends at VIP Play, want to encourage you to hang out with them because $20, you bet 20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. The promo code and the phrase that pays is TN Tony. Just enter that in the box. 200 leagues, live always, numerous bet types. All kinds of props, all kinds of action, all kinds of options, all kinds of fun. Brian, my Eagles have the fancy Cowboys. Who do your boys have this weekend? We're down in Dallas in the 4:15 Eastern slot.
They go to Arizona.
Ooh, a W for y'all.
In that same time slot,
yeah. A W for y'all, baby boy. Here we go. VIP Play. Everybody gets treated like a VIP. The Dallas Cowboys are not going to get treated like a VIP over at VIP Play. Let me tell you that. If you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. VIP Play. As we go back to the phones, presented by Marcos Garza, your Garza law firm. A hell of a hit in the UCLA game. Out on a ball thrown out in the flat. You got to love that pass, Matt, that these coordinators continue to run, like those murder balls out in the flat. The guys.
The quick screens.
Yeah, just total murder balls.
The funniest play in this game was UCLA's right tackle, having that swan dive, faking injury. I don't know what his NIL situation is, but he's pretty close to Hollywood because he could be an actor.
He's a great thespian. I mean, he looked like one of those defenders that Lane Kiffin had a couple years ago, laying on the ground. Let's go back to our phones. Hello and welcome in. It's Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. You're on the air. Hi.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah, hey. I thought we had our first fall asleep of the night. You're on the air. Welcome
No,
in.
sorry. I didn't know you. I didn't know. I was,
no, you're fine. You're fine.
I was next one up.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, I looked up some stats. I was curious about Joey's performance tonight and how it stacked up against other Tennessee quarterbacks in the swamp.
Sure.
And of course, this is only the sixth time we've ever won in Gainesville. And so I looked all the way back, 1953. Tennessee won in Gainesville, running the single wing. So, quarterback wasn't the same kind of thing, but a guy named Jimmy Wade was 1 of 7 passing for 54 yards. In 1955, still in the single wing, so quarterback wasn't quite the same thing, but a guy you might have heard of named John Terrell Majors. He completed 2 of 4 passes for 41 yards and a touchdown.
How did people watch the game back then?
They sure did not watch it on Disney Plus, YouTube TV, or
Amen.
Or ESPN
Amen.
Unlimited. I don't know what they watch it on.
Amen to that, brother. And I guarantee you those post-game shows back then got on the air a lot quicker.
I bet they did. 1971, Tennessee won in the Swamp. I would have sworn it was Dewey Warren, who was the quarterback then, but he was already gone by then.
Yep, he was
and
gone.
A guy named Phil Pierce was the quarterback.
The
He won
incomparable
7
Phil Pierce.
Of course, yes, the indomitable. Phil Pierce went 7 of 15 for 94 yards, an interception and a touchdown. He had a long pass of 20 yards. And then you got to fast forward, of course, and of course, Philip Fulmer was blocking for him in that game.
Yes.
And then you got to fast forward 30 years. Casey Clausen in 2001, he went 17 of 25 for 168. He had 2 interceptions in that game and a touchdown. Obviously, we know Travis Stevens took that game over. In 2003, Casey was 12 of 23 for 235 and a touchdown, but he also had an interception. And tonight, Joey Aguilar went 17 of 22 for 204 and a touchdown, no interceptions. That's probably the best game a Tennessee quarterback has ever had in the Swamp. You talk about Joey Aguilar.
Had a really good game there.
Manning had a good game there. What year, John?
But he didn't win.
But he didn't win, and that's the point. He's talking about.
You're just talking about
in wins. Yeah, in wins.
Yeah,
that's the thing. If you're looking at stats, the most important stat is did you win?
Did you win?
And only 6 times ever has Tennessee won down
Is
there.
That crazy?
And if you're going to count that, Joey Aguilar just had the best game a Tennessee quarterback has ever had.
That's
in the Swamp.
crazy. That's crazy.
The most points Tennesse'd ever scored in Gainesville was 37, and that was in that 9 game. And I thought they were going to shatter that tonight. I thought they were going to way over that.
I called.
And they could have. And they could have.
Oh, they could.
But they didn't have to.
Right.
And it's like when you're playing. I'm a dad, and when you have a little kid, you have your little son, and you're playing around with him, and you want him to feel strong, so you kind of let him think like he's winning a little bit, and then you kind of put him down and like show him who's boss.
Mm-hmm.
That's way more humiliating in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could have scored 60 points tonight. We could have scored 70 points tonight. Really, we could have named the score tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to. We only had 3 drives in the second half.
They got straight up toyed with, man. I mean, that's the kind of the bottom line.
Playing
they got
with a little kid.
Yeah, they got toyed with.
It was like throwing around a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Go Vols, man. I'm really proud of Tennessee's effort tonight. I really think that they were looking ahead a little bit. And when I say looking ahead, I don't mean like they weren't focused on this game. The way they played, I felt like they were more focused tonight than they were last week against New Mexico State. Like last week, it kind of felt like they sleptwalked through the game.
They
Tonight,
spent,
it felt like
they
they
spent
came
the last
out.
3 weeks getting ready for Florida.
Yes,
I think.
absolutely.
Yeah. Last week they just kind of went through the motions, but you're right. They were dialed in from the start tonight. They looked really.
And
crisp.
I was a little worried after last week, seeing the way they went through the motions. I thought, man, if they just kind of, are they mailing it in on this season? But I don't think they were. I think they were ready for tonight. They were ready to play, and I think you're going to see the same thing next week. I think when they come out next week,
it's going to be an awesome game, man.
They don't want to be disrespected by that kid who said he was going to run the state. I think you're going to see them come out and show that kid who runs the state.
Thank you, my friend.
So,
great talking to you. Thank you, brother. A great phone call. 865-200-5402. If you want to get in the mix and in the hunt with us. John, tonight I call a signature win for Joey Aguilar. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I think winning on the road, playing well, coming out and having command early, providing good leadership. When the team kind of slowed down, they showed Aguilar going over to the team. He was kind of trying to fire him up again. I do think the thing when I look at the Vanderbilt game, I still saw things as dominant as Tennessee was against Florida in that first half. I still saw things that are going to be a problem against Vanderbilt. This team still misses too many tackles. It still misses too many tackles.
Yeah, I'm going to hang on to something Bino said. I think it's accurate. They're going to play their best game of the year to beat that Vanderbilt team. And after watching Vanderbilt today, I'm fully convinced of that. They're going to have to play their best game. Our previous caller notwithstanding, I like the bravado, and you're not going to let that kid. Let me tell you something about this Pavia guy. They're going to have to beat him. Okay?
And Tony, Vanderbilt will not be phased at all by playing in Neyland Stadium.
No, they will not.
It thrives on that kind of.
Yeah, they will. This
team is built on that premise.
Yes.
To go in, nobody thinks you can do it. Nobody thinks you can win.
Right.
So it goes in with the attitude, we're going to show the world.
You know what I think they are, Matt? That Vanderbilt team, watching them today, it's like Tony Vitello football is what it is. It's like us against the world. F you. We don't care. Nobody cares. And we're going to do things that haven't been done at this school. That's what Tony did here.
How about Pavia's mom in the stands? They keep showing her.
I mean, she looks like she's 25 years old. That lady looks like
I know she does.
She looks like a midlife crisis. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome in. I mean, you talk about somebody that glowed up from the beginning of the season. Hello and welcome in to our next call. You are live on Garza Law 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Tony, it might be 1:30 in the morning, but we're partying the streets over this one, brother. I'm 31 years old, and so this is really the first time in my lifetime that I can remember where Tennessee just put the hammer down on Florida, won in dominant fashion, and to do it on their own home field is incredible. That's just not something we're used to seeing around here. And, Tennessee proved tonight that they are leagues above Florida as a football program. And that's what I wanted to see more than anything. We looked like a ranked Tennessee football team should beat a 3-7 Florida team. So I really enjoyed seeing that. And I agree with what John was saying. I love the clip of Joey. We're up 31-3 in the fourth quarter, and he's still hyping the team up on the sidelines, being a leader, saying the job's not finished.
Yeah.
And we kept our foot on their throat, and we made them like it. And I'll say this, I do think if Tennessee plays a clean game next weekend, we will beat Vanderbilt, and we'll probably do it pretty convincingly, too, being at home. I think the team will get up for this game. I think Pavia's ran his mouth a lot, and he's written a check with his mouth that I don't think their team is going to be able to cash, because I think Tennessee, on their best day, just from a talent standpoint, is much better than Vanderbilt.
Well,
but they got to show up and show it.
Yeah, from your perspective, right? Because the thing you wonder about these teams is, because now you're going to get a lot of love around the community for what you just did with Florida. Because that was a huge deal to us. It can't be a huge deal to them. They've got to turn right back around and play what's going to be a tough football game. So there can't be any mental lag or celebrating what you just did. That's the thing that's so hard about playing in this league, though. You go bang bang in this league, and it can get difficult on you. But the one thing that does exist is all that video, and Josh Carter brings it up, and he's right about this. I don't know if Heupel's this type of guy, but he could literally put that on a loop over there in their complex. Pavia and Clark Lee both saying F Tennessee and how much they hate Tennessee and all that stuff. You could literally loop that this week if you wanted to, because there's so much bulletin board stuff out there.
And no, absolutely. And I mean, historically, Tennessee is daddy, and we run the state.
That's
and,
correct.
Vanderbilt, they've had a cute season. But,
our fans will be outraged if we lose that game next week. I'm not expecting to lose, but I expect a hell of a game. I think it's going to be an incredible game.
Absolutely, they're not gonna quit. I mean, they're the kill or be killed mentality through and through.
It's going to be fun.
They will be up for the challenge.
Yes,
but I think Tennessee's going to match them mental wise. I think
hope
Tennessee really stood up tonight and proved something. And I wanted to throw one more thing out here, Tony.
Yeah.
Being here in the Chattanooga area, I don't know if you got an opportunity to look at David Gabriel George's stats from the other night, but that kid rushed for 431 yards and 7 touchdowns in a high school playoff game against McCallie. We have to keep that kid here in the state of Tennessee. Got to have that guy.
I think he's pretty good. Yeah. Thank you, my friend. Good talking to you. I think he's I think he can kind of play a little bit. Go ahead, Brian.
This is kind of the first time this year, if you really consider tonight's game a tough game, but that the Vols have had to deal with really back-to-back tough games like this at Florida and then this Vandy team coming in. And you might not even be able to consider this that way because Florida that wasn't really tough from just how the game turned out standpoint.
Hey, Matt.
I think it's actually to their favor that they only had to play one half.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Some people are trying to make it that you took your foot off the gas and you're going to be like out of rhythm next week. I mean, that logic literally makes no sense to me. What do you sit there for like, what does a team do? It's like sits there suspended in time for a week? How do you get out of rhythm? Because you just ran the ball in the second half. That makes zero sense. All these games are different. Guys, they're still like...
Cody,
yeah, go ahead, John.
Well, I'm just listening to the callers.
Yeah.
I sense that I just don't know if they accepted the fact how talented Vanderbilt is.
No, they're not.
It's not just like it's some scrappy underdog that does everything right and fundamentally sound. It's got talent. I mean, Diego Pavia is a legitimate Heisman candidate.
Yes.
Eli Stauer is one of the best tight ends in the country.
Yes.
Its receiving core is solid. It is playing well in the line. I mean, there are not any really glaring weaknesses on this team.
It's going to be, John, it's going to be a hell of a game is what it's going to be. And Matt's right. Their weakness is their secondary. But Tennessee's going to have to execute and be on point. No goofy penalties on their line. No holding. No, none of that stuff. They have a pretty good linebacking core. They're not very good in their secondary. And they're exploitable for that reason. Well, that was Texas was able to do that. That's right.
I'm trying to think who else did that against them, though. Other than
Texas did.
I guess Alabama.
Alabama was pretty good passing the ball against them. I mean, we'll dig into it this week. But, Matt, the thing about this game this week is both teams do something very well that the other team doesn't defend very well. And it might come down to quarterback play.
Correct. Both offenses have significant advantages against both defenses.
And it might be kind of silly, to say that, but that's what it feels like from here.
I think it'll be a 37-34 type
Yeah, it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. And depending on the weather conditions and who knows this time of the year, you might get a 70-degree day, you might get a 35-degree day. It's going to be wild.
What would you guys guess the line would be?
Brian said it's 4.5. Tennessee.
It's 3.5.
3.5.
It's down to 3.5.
So it's dropping.
Still, Tennessee's favored.
Yeah. But it opened at like 4.5.
I thought 3 points.
Yeah.
So
that's what they were favored by tonight, by the way.
So 3 means for the Vols, they're power rated essentially right on top of each other, which is what we already know. It's like a pick 'em. Back to our phones we go. 865-200.
The high temperature Saturday is going to be 48 degrees.
Yeah, from now. But who knows?
What about the wind, Brian?
As we go back to our phones on your TLD pressure. Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
Precipitation.
Shout out to my friends at Performance Medicine. Look, it's like 1:40 in the morning. I'm not bragging on myself or anything, but air quality. I was out there today at the park, and I was the semi-homeless looking person walking around with my guitar, playing music, and people look at me like, oh, that's that guy, that's that moron that's on the radio. Okay, so, yeah, people are just
it was a perfect afternoon to be
outside.
Oh,
my God, dude. Oh, my gosh. And so...
the dog had 3 miles.
There you go. I mean, before I knew it, Matt, I had done like 12,000 steps or whatever. So I was like 5.6 miles or whatever it was. It was just so beautiful outside. But here's the kicker. I mean, it's like 1:30 in the morning and we're still up doing our thing here. Why? My friends at Performance Medicine are life-changing. And I love them, and I love Dr. Rogers. He's a great man. The Rogers family, those are great people. And take control of your wellness. Performance Medicine has personalized health solutions that fit your life. The approach of Performance Medicine puts you first. You feeling drained of energy? Are you struggling with weight goals? Do you feel like you're in a haze and kind of foggy and all that stuff? Say goodbye to cookie cutter care, needless procedures, and insurance hurdles. They didn't even take insurance there. Like what you see is what you get, what you pay for. It's like old school. It's like going back to the old school. Performance Medicine online at performancemedicine.net. You can also see their YouTube channel and see more of Dr. Rogers and the entire crew on their YouTube channel, Performance Medicine. Let's go down. Somebody just brought up a good point here. Vols in Kansas City. We sure hope next week's game doesn't come down to a field goal, guys. By the way, that kid from Oklahoma today hammered a 50-yarder, Matt. They threw him out there in the middle of the third quarter, a big kick like late in that third quarter to keep it like a 2-score game. And that guy out there in his Daisy Duke shorts hammered another one, Matt. I am not confident in our guy, Matt, kicking next week in a close game. Are you? I mean, I'm just going to say that on the air.
Oh, no,
I'm sorry.
absolutely not.
That guy scares me.
I mean, it was from 50, but that was kind of a low-pressure kick, and that didn't help his confidence at all. He looked wide-eyed going on the field then.
He scares me.
I think Vandy's got a really good kicker who's from Knoxville.
I got an email after that kick.
Well,
I mean, it was a 50-yarder, though. It wasn't
I know.
Chip shot.
But our
but
fans...
it's just people don't believe in him, even though he's had a good year.
Well, Adam Sparks always quotes his numbers.
Yeah.
You know what fans remember? Just like relief pitchers. They remember when you blow saves. They don't remember all the saves you got. They talk about your blown saves. Let's get our next call in, and that is the truth. They care about your blown saves. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tone, it's Garrick in South Bend. How we doing this
morning? Hey, Garrick, South Bend. Welcome in, brother. And now, are you on Eastern time or are you Central there?
I'm on Eastern. I'm about 30 minutes from a line, so we're
oh, cool.
It's still 1:45 up here.
Right on, my brother.
I tell you what, going back to the kickers, fans don't remember the stats. Chase McGrath was not a good kicker. You take his stats in, but you ask a fan, I mean, he's good as gold, considering what he did against the Alabama game.
That's exactly right.
I tell you what, it was a fun night. It was a good night. That team, we went out there that first drive, ran the ball down their throat, punched them in the mouth, and they just laid over and died like a dog. It was quite a sight to see.
It was a startlingly easy win, like shockingly easy win for this Tennessee team.
And DJ Lagway, even in like the pregame, whenever they were showing him in the locker room, and you could see his face through his helmet, he just looked so disinterested in that game, just so disinterested.
That's a great observation, man.
The soul was taken out of that team.
Matt, what do you think about this Lagway guy? And is he there next year? Does he try to do something else? What do you make of this Lagway guy, Matt?
I just think it's a guy that's not healthy and didn't practice all spring and didn't really even practice in fall camp until like 2 weeks before the season. I mean, he didn't throw. He couldn't even throw a football for the entire offseason, and it shows. He hasn't developed at all. He's really, in a lot of ways, probably regressed some now that teams have probably seen more film on him. But he's uber talented. You see, he had that long run. You see a couple of the throws he makes.
Yeah.
But then you see poor mechanics, and he makes bad decisions. He's just a young guy that hasn't developed because he wasn't able to practice all offseason, and I don't think he's healthy at all. I mean, I think he's kind of limping around. And, he went there for Napier. Napier got fired. Napier was well liked. So like the caller said, that whole team's just disinterested.
Yes.
They don't really have a figurehead. They're not playing for anybody. And they're just not well coached or prepared, and it shows.
The thing that scared me coming into tonight, guys, and it didn't turn out to be this way. I never said it on the air. A lot of times in situations like this, you'll have past players get in the ear of those current players and say, you can't blow this series for us. You can't be. You guys don't want to be the group to let us down. Nobody loses to Tennessee from here, down here. Nobody does it. You guys cannot do that. I wonder how much of that they got, because it did not look like, from the get-go, like that team wanted to be out there with Tennessee tonight. And you're right about Lagway, but it looked like their whole team just did not want to be there. And Lagway's chief among them. Sort of like the way Nico was a flatliner last year. People were talking about how this, John mentioned it and a couple callers did, about how Aguilar's over there at various junctures in the game trying to keep his guys engaged, and Nico never did that last year. And I saw from that kid tonight, the quarterback at Florida, that he didn't want to be out there. It's kind of a shame because he's really talented.
Tony, he's not as talented as I thought he was last year.
Oh, no, he's talented, John. He's just all turned around. He needs the right person to reset him or unlock him or whatever that term is, John. He's still real talented.
Well, he looked at it last year. But what I wonder about him is, how serious is he about getting better?
I guess we'll see. I think he's uncoached. I'd love to see Heupel get his hands on him. I know that.
That team from Clarksville that we're playing next week, they got a kid that really wants it. And talking about coming out and punching somebody in the mouth, it's going to take 3, 4, maybe 5 punches thrown at them because they got an iron jaw. It's going to be a dog fight.
I love that game next week. How fun's that going to be, man?
It's going to be a really good game, and I think that the key at Tennessee winning is containing the quarterback, and it's been an Achilles heel for Tim Bake's defense all his tenure here. I'm not really worried about the design runs, but whenever Pavia drops back to pass, especially in the red zone, he can just take off, and he's like a fart in a skillet, and he can go and maneuver and find his way in the end zone. But I tell you what, go Big Orange, great win. The last time we beat that team from the swamp, I was a young guy still shitting green. Love you, mean it. Go Big Orange.
Thank you, my brother. The fart in the skillet line comes from who, Bri?
That's Coach Scream and Shout.
You got it. Our former special teams coach, Coach Scream and Shout.
They didn't have a very good night.
Hell out of them tonight.
You know why Penn State? Did that? Because I was on
just,
Nebraska. Go ahead, John.
Brian, I was thinking during that game is Tennessee holding them to 11 points. I don't believe a John Chavis defense was ever that good against Florida, was it?
No. But you know what?
I guess he was here in the 90 game, but he wasn't the coordinator.
I was thinking about that Florida 90 series and how tonight brought the curtain down on the thing, as an annual series. And all those behemoth Tennessee teams and behemoth Florida teams playing each other. And that was the last one. And I was thinking about having Tebow over there, Fulmer over there, Spurrier over there, Riddell Anthony over there, Ike Hilliard over there, on the other side of the stream, right? And tonight's game washes up to the stream, and they pan up to Iron Eyes Cody with the Indian with the tears coming down his eyes. And all the rest of those guys are all crying, too, for what happened to that incredible series.
Well, the ironic thing
no
is,
offense,
one of Butch's defenses held them to 10, and they got beat.
I love Butchie Boy. That was with Treon Harris, right?
Yeah, that's the Treon Harris game. They held them to 10 points, and Tennessee lost the game.
Who was the quarterback, though? Ingle
Martin.
Okay,
yeah, they held him to 10 points that day,
but
too. And the last time they won
Harris. Wasn't Trey Harris, arrested after the game?
Sunday morning. Not after the game,
that was
Sunday
the 2014
morning.
Game here.
Neon Treon Harris, who was literally named after an inanimate object, his mother's favorite character in The Wizard of Oz, the tree. Let's go back to the phones. I mean, what are we doing? By the way, Ewad has now joined the room. Eric Waddell, who covered tonight's festivities. Eric, your thoughts on the victory, then we go back to the phones.
Man, I'll tell you what. This has been an extremely long time coming. And I can't tell you how pleased I am with that. I can't tell you also how many times I've been down to Gainesville and just been made miserable with long trips home to either when I was living in Florida, Georgia, or Tennessee. So I'm really happy about that. I sent this out in a group text to you guys at one point in the night. I felt like, especially, in the first half when things were really rolling, that I felt like it had sort of a Phil Fulmer feel to it. I know that not everybody loves that thought, but just we physically beat them up. And, the offensive plays look different than, say, when Fulmer was calling them or Cutcliffe was calling them. But I guess what I'm trying to say is it was that physical, took control of the game, and you never let them breathe. And that was, for me, that was a good throwback. I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but that was a good throwback to me. And like I said, I'm glad that with the series shutting down as an annual thing, at least, that we finally put this ugly streak to bed. That just, I'm happy more than anything, which, don't always get to say this on the show, but pretty darn happy.
That Bishop dive, as Vols in Kansas City said, looked like some old school Fulmer football. Him going up over the pile, Matt. You don't see that much anymore in today's game.
Reminded me of Travis Henry.
That was really cool.
That was
Little
really
man
cool.
Stewart.
Somebody had a great shot of that too in the stadium.
By the way.
Absolutely, yes.
The two visuals.
I didn't mention that specifically, but I did think that.
Yeah, it's cool, Eric. I was vibing with you. The Vol in Kansas City. I don't know what time it is there. These damn people won't go to damn sleep.
Well, they're Central Time.
What's my excuse? Hello, let's get our
Tony,
next.
I got to go. I got to do some more
He's
work
got an
here.
excuse. He's got an excuse. See
Yeah.
how that works?
I got to go.
Thank you, John Love. Thank you.
Take care.
Good night, John.
For inviting me on. See you guys.
You got it. Jennifer Morris, next move, SmokyMountains.com. We love her. Thank you, Jennifer. She's insane. How about that Arkansas bunch, Matt, playing around with Texas Air for a while? I don't think Arkansas
they're
has
the best fantasy football team in college football this year.
I don't think they have three defenders on their team, Matt, that can play.
No. They go up and down the field on offense until the game gets serious, and then they'll beat themselves, and they'll let you go up and down the field all game, no matter what.
Yep. Back to the phones we go.
Their backup quarterback who came in today wound up throwing for 200 yards in like a quarter and a half against Texas defense.
I mean, poor. And then those announcers were trying to sell us tonight on television how much Arch has improved and how good Texas offense is right now. I'm like, guys, we watched the Georgia game last week. What are you idiots talking about?
They'll A&M will have them in a blender. They were good today, and they were really good against Vandy. But that's about it.
A&M is going to turn them inside and out. Back to the phones we go.
As much as we've talked about A&M over the years.
Eric.
We'll have to wait to see it. No, you're right, Tony. I get you. Logically, you're 100% right.
No, we've seen it.
But A&M.
This ain't your
just
daddy's
don't leave
A&M.
them in a room with razor blades.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
This ain't your daddy's A&M, and this ain't your daddy's Vanderbilt. But it's more the case with A&M because they are nasty. That's a nasty, nasty football team with bad intentions. Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt's a good story, a very good quarterback, a good story. might get left out of the playoffs if they win 10 games, and they very much could come in here next week and win. I think that's definitely on the table. Back to the phones we go. Was that Mincy's little brother that stabbed 2 of his teammates, Matt, before the game? Our Gerald Mincy?
I saw somebody say that. I don't know. I don't know either. It at all.
Is that the same kid that stepped on our kicker's foot?
I don't know. We need to find that.
Because
maybe Brian could research that for us.
Somebody has a screw loose on that UAB football team. Maybe a couple different people at this point. Hello and welcome in on our Garza Law 5th quarter fan reaction. You're on the air. Hi.
What's up, Tony B and the boys? This is Judd.
Refalytics, Judd. It is your time almost to shine, my brother.
And we're getting close. Good, boys. I'm glad you're up. I'm glad you're up the same time I am this early in the morning.
Well, you're a kook.
Yeah, well, I've been told that before. But anytime you beat Florida, so I guess here's where I'm coming from. The first time I've ever been in Neyland Stadium, I was 6 years old, 1982 versus Alabama. And the only thing that I understood was, A, I didn't get to go to the World's Fair with my family because I was mad, and we hate the red team. So I've hated Alabama ever since. However, I'm exactly 1 week older than Peyton Manning. So in the prime of my life, Florida, because Alabama was in the doldrums, Florida was the rival. So it's a different type. I can't really explain it. Florida is a different type of hatred than Alabama. It's almost like I hate Alabama, but I respect Alabama. I hate Florida, and I despise Florida. Everything about Florida. I hate their fans. I hate their stadium. I hate their colors. I hate their uniforms. Everything about Florida I hate. So anytime Tennessee beats Florida, I understood Heupel took he took the foot off the pedal, but it was so pleasant to me to watch a second half of football with zero stress, like you guys are gone. Like, that's it. We're done. And that was really pleasant to me this evening because anytime you beat Florida, like I said, I can't explain it. I hate Alabama. I hate Florida, but the hatred I have for Florida is different than the hatred I have for Alabama.
Well, the Florida people don't respect people. They have a bunch of white trash Yankee fans.
It's a .com program.
Yeah, it's a doc. That's a good. That's a
Alabama's a blue blood that has a rich history, and especially with Tennessee, Florida's just the come on lately, and that everything. I agree with everything you said, Judd. I mean, You sound like you don't know how to explain it, but I understand exactly where you're coming from.
I am so glad we don't have to listen to these fans that just keep rolling over with the thought of Florida for another 2 years and just be scared to death of them. I'm so glad we don't have to listen to that anymore.
Brian, you get a lot of credit. Tiring. Brian, you get a lot of credit, man, because you did not kowtow to them at all. When that whole time, all summer when I was going, yeah, but I got to see it, and you were like, well, you're going to see it. And that whole time, Brian, you kept saying, not only are you going to see it, you said this week, not only will you see it, but it's going to be an easy win. And I was like, whoa, I don't.
I hope you made money off that.
Yeah,
bet, Brian.
Yeah.
I really hope you made
seriously,
money.
Because you were all in all year, man.
That's the only game I got right this week.
You were all in all year. So. And you're right, Judd. There's something about, I just think Florida's Cutler, no offense to Walmart, but that looks like something that could have been designed in Walmart somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, there's just nothing about them. There's just nothing redeeming about Florida. No offense.
And there's a reason they're the jorts capital of Earth.
That's exactly right.
And I've listened to most of the post-game show. I think I missed about 45 minutes. Has the caller jorts called in tonight?
No jorts. We haven't had jorts, nope.
What a shocker. Wow. That's shocking to me that the caller jorts has not called in. And maybe he'll call in. Let Brian do his caller jorts.
Do you like when Brian imitates him to him? Do you think that's...
It gives me quite the chuckle. But, I'll also say this: Aguilar reminds me, and so I've heard a lot of the guys call in tonight that are 20, 30, 40. I'm a man. I'm 50, and Aguilar reminds me of a little bit more talented and much better coached Andy Kelly.
Ooh, I like that stick.
I've thought that for a while too.
I will take that.
And that's exactly who he reminds me of. He is never going to win a Heisman Trophy.
Right.
But he is solid enough to win you ball games.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to throw some picks.
Yep.
But overall, the overall body of work is much more positive than it is negative. He reminds me so much of Andy Kelly. It's uncanny. He's a little bit faster. He's a little bit more athletic, and he's better coached.
That's a really good pull. Really good.
And I'm fine with that. But also, so tonight, do you think Tennessee fared better with Miles Kisselman out of the game?
Brian said they did. Yes.
By far.
The passing game for sure.
Well, here's my deal with Miles Kitselman and the season and the team as a whole. All I heard all off season, and I don't have as many connections in football as I do in basketball, but everything that I heard in football was Miles Kitselman is your team leader. He's the guy everybody looks up to.
Yep.
Heupel called him tonight a leader.
Yep.
In his postgame.
Yep.
Miles Kitselman is the bad news Bears tight end of football.
I feel so sorry for him. He's had a rough year, man. No
He's
question.
terrible. He's responsible for at least 4 interceptions.
He's had a rough year.
He's responsible for at least 4 sacks.
Yeah, he's had a rough year.
And I'm like, if that guy is your team leader, that's how your team is going to fare. And when this guy's not on the field, you play better. I just, I mean, I'm sure he's a great kid. I'm sure he'd be a buddy of mine. But as far as if that's the guy that's the leader of your team, he's not good at football.
2 things can be true, though, okay? He can still be a leader, and he can still have had a really rough year. And that's happened. Because I think he is a really good leader. You know?
Well, you got to, but I'm coming from a basketball perspective, man. If you can't put the stats on the court,
no, I get it.
I don't care what you do in the locker room, man. You better perform what you're on the court.
It seems,
and he can't perform on the field.
No, he did last year though. Come on now, give him some credit. But last week when he wasn't the leader last year. Last week when he let that kid intercept that ball, that is pretty emblematic of the year that poor guy's had. Because it's not been good.
The pick six on Alabama was
not good. That wasn't good either.
He's just been. I mean, that's just.
He's been in the middle of everything.
He's the personality of the team. However, I don't want that to take away from the win tonight. I'm just saying, overall the season.
Yeah.
I think he's emblematic of the team Tennessee has, losing to Georgia. I know poor old Max Gilbert. I mean, that poor guy, when the kick counts, he turns into minus Gilbert. If the kick doesn't matter, he's Max Gilbert.
Max and minus. That's terrible.
He's minimum Gilbert instead of Maximus
That's
Gilbert.
Terrible, guys. Stop that.
But
hey, if the game's close, Judd, if the game's close with Randy next week, okay? And he walks out there on that field, what's your confidence level going to be? Because he's going to put it right through the uprights, my brother.
0. Tony B, that guy has as much shot at hitting that kick as I do, and I've never kicked a football in my life.
Judd, he looked like tonight when they walked him out there on that 50-yarder, and this is no joke. He looked like me at a high school dance walking up to one of those pretty girls and saying, would you like to dance with me? And them looking at me like, buddy, you got no shot. And that's a fact with my hand up.
Well, he looks to me That poor guy,
Yes.
when he's got that helmet on,
Yes.
and you see them great big old eyeballs,
yes,
it's like the Ethra bus is going to roll him out there to kick that kick.
You're out of here.
Yeah, he looked scared shitless out there.
He looks so scared.
That George, I felt so bad for him when I rewatched the Georgia game.
Oh my
Everybody
God,
was
dude.
coming up to him, and he looked like he didn't want to go out there and kick that ball at all. Yeah, you better hope next week doesn't come down to field goal.
And I'm sure.
I guess he could be that UCLA kicker. It could always be worse.
I'm sure he's a good kid too. But geez, man, that's rough. That's rough. Juddy, you just cracked me up. If you want to jump in, 865-200-5402. We'll get a few more in and then call it a day. I know it's after 2 o'clock in the Eastern time zone. I've got one call right now on hold. As I remind you, while we get some calls set back up, we're presented by our friends at your Garza Law Firm, online at garzalaw.com. Also, special shout out to my friends at VIP Play. Check out VIP Play as well. My friends at Calhoun's, where we're going to be on Friday. They've got the Feed the Family for the holidays family pack. You can pre-order your meal right now, November 24th through January 1st. So they're having it for the full 5 weeks through the holiday. Special shout out to my friends at T3 Vodka. Davis tonight had a T3 TD tonight. Shout out to T3 Vodka. Special shout out to my friends at Dos Equis. Go for Dos. When you're celebrating your Tennessee Volunteer win, go for Dos. 2025 Cervezas Mexicanas. Also, special shout out to our friends at Waterside Contracting. Online at watersidecontractingllc.com. Walker's Painting. When it's time for a fresh coat, you're going to run. Don't walk to Walker's Painting. They got you covered at Walker's Painting. Check out their ad over at tclub.team, where, by the way, we'll have total team coverage this week. We've got merging sporting events on Monday. We're going to be on with Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime. So, shout out there. My friends at TLD Logistics have provided the phone line here and all year. Shout out to TLD Logistics. Y'all have been incredible. And they're going to be going away soon, but I love my friends at TLD Logistics. Thank you for that. Also, special shout out to Connexial. Online at KONEXIAL.com. Connexial, and shout out to Connexial Kristen and Connexial Sammy. Connexial Wichita Ken. Shout out to Josh Collins and the Collins Insurance Agency, who insure us in here through Erie Insurance, and they're awesome people. And Josh, special shout out to you. But I'm getting tired of hearing ZZ stop on your commercial there. Can I tell him that, Matt, now that it's 3 o'clock in the morning and the truth comes out? Let's all just get the truth out here.
I mean, they're your commercials.
Let's all just
get a new one for
Well,
them?
I mean, Matt, let's all just start spilling the truth.
ZZ
Brian,
here. ZZ here.
I mean, it's basketball season again. You might as well keep him now.
Shout out to my friends at Alumni Hall, the ultimate volunteer shopping experience, online at alumnihall.com. The great Alan, I love you, Alan. You're a maniac. WeShipFloors.com. That's a maniac product. You go to their YouTube channel and watch him pound. And you gotta order, ask for some samples. Let him know that you're alive. Can you help me this week with WeShipFloors.com? A great product. Incredible product. WeShipFloors.com. Also, special shout out to my friends at Performance Medicine. I'm performing my best, or at least I'm trying to, with Performance Medicine, online at performancemedicine.net. All right, let's go back to our phones on this Sunday. Rice fans. And get our next call in. Hello and welcome. I'm in a good mood. The Vols win with Florida, and my Eagles are going to go to Dallas and either smoke them, which will be funny, or lose, which the talk radio in Philly will be funny. So I'm going to have an entertaining day tomorrow or today. whatever today is. Today, tomorrow, 14 hours. Wow, it's going to be here before you know it. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Who do the Flyers play tomorrow?
When we gonna beat Florida?
And by the way, ZR, who passed away, that was ZR's line. We had a great remembrance for him today over at Iams Nature Center. That was a beautiful thing this afternoon to be a part of. Flyers won tonight,
ZR, like everyone else. I hate that I missed that event, but I know he's looking down.
I love
Enjoy
Z.
tonight.
The Z. I love ZR, man. Perry Cooper. There's only one Perry, my friend.
Man, the years that you used to race him to see if you could cut him off before he got the oink.
Oh my
in.
gosh,
Oh my
dude.
God.
I mean, if people that have just found the show recently would have heard the show back then, they would know why I'm so hated. You know what I mean?
It was insane.
Oh my God, it was the craziest stuff ever that's ever aired on the radio, anywhere, any place, any town. I found every crazy back then, and I platformed every one of them.
Yes,
you know what
did.
I mean?
Crazy sells and business is good.
Yes, yes.
So all week, Tony, when you were doing the flashbacks to this series, you were just talking straight to my heart, and like the shaking of the keys, I was there with you.
Wow.
And like you probably have said, and maybe I missed, this series has had every possible outcome in it except for Tennessee winning big in Gainesville, and we were shaking the keys at halftime. It's never happened, has it?
No, and the key shaking game in 1990 is one of the craziest sporting events I've ever been to. I mean, that night, you talk about a perfect night for Tennessee football. That right there was just...
That was the apex. It was.
And you know what I thought? I thought to myself, boy, when these guys come on the schedule every year in a couple of years, we're going to beat the hell out of them every year.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, was that was prophetic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Spurrier took that game personally and decided to triple down on that.
Yes.
That series. But anyway, 3 out of 4, Heupel has won over Florida. That is no small thing.
No.
Even a roadkill team like tonight, that's no small thing.
It isn't to me, but some people will diminish him. And here's the thing that's going to be crazy. If they don't get it done against Vanderbilt next week, people are going to be really pissed at him. He's going to be right back in the soup. So, such is life in the SEC, man.
It's tough sledding. But, this game coming up, Tony, I think this is the first time we've ever had 2 Hispanic quarterbacks leading the two teams. Is that right?
I don't know. I think that's probably going to be accurate, yeah.
So I guess they're going to need to call this the Ice Bowl. See ya!
865-200-5402 if you want to get in the hunting in the mix with us. But those Pavia's mom looks like literally a midlife crisis. No offense to her. Now, she's a pretty lady and all that. Matt, did you happen to see her today, how glammed up she was?
I know they showed her. She definitely, definitely doesn't look like she should have a 28-year-old in college, or however old he is.
28. Matt's got the guy 28. It's the greatest thing ever. How old can that lady be? She looks like she's. I was looking at her today, going, "What is she, like 35?" Eric, would you care to tackle that? I mean, it's the middle of the night. Nobody's listening.
I think I'm going to take the 0 on this one.
Come on, Brian, what do you think? What do you think of Pavia's mom, Brian?
Honestly, I truly have no idea.
I didn't watch much of that game at all, so I didn't see her.
I know this Theo Von guy's got a real fascination with her, apparently. And Pavia was over there hobnobbing with Theo Von after one of their touchdowns. Vandy's really annoying, Matt, because they're in with the hip crowd down in Nashville now. That's kind of annoying. You have to admit that, Matt. All the country singers that are glommed onto it now and the Theo Vons of the world. I mean, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying?
I've noticed it a little bit, but not a ton.
Josh in Colorado, is Laura awake? I hope not. I mean, it's 3:00 in the morning, y'all. What do you want from me? The woman looks like she's literally gone through like a midlife crisis. Like Matt said, she literally looked 25 years old today. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But let's go back to the phones.
Maybe one day this week we can compare the quarterbacks' moms on the show.
Oh, I think
get Titan Spill on.
He'll have to come up with a Hispanic women list.
Hispanic women of color.
His top 5 Hispanic women.
I wonder where Rita Moreno is. Let's go back to our phones. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Tony, I don't blame you for finding interest in Diego's mama. You're not wrong for that.
I don't have an interest in her. I think looks like she's 20. I mean, I don't know what she's going for, but she has like the lip gloss and what is she doing?
Well, I'm sure over the next week she'll have plenty of students texting her.
I don't think there's any doubt that's true. I bet that lady, yeah, that's true.
No, Tony, I'm sitting here, as the living listener, 2 a.m. sitting with you.
Yes.
And this is the first time in my life that I have sat post-game in a win after Gainesville. So, of course, you got to stay up all night.
That's pretty next level right there, dude. That's next level.
Yeah, I love that we get to – 26 years in a row we played these guys. I love that we get to tie a bow on it, 3 out of 4. I called you 36. A few weeks back to let you know. Say it again.
36 years.
36.
We've played them 36 years now?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, since 1990 every year.
Do you like how fast time goes?
Well, I mean, I wasn't alive whenever this series started. I missed that's what kind of sucked after the game was over tonight. Is, I didn't really get the joy out of it that guys like you probably would have got after like the '97 game if we would have won that. But I mean, I still got the joy out of it. Don't take me like we beat Florida. The series is over. It's great.
Yep.
But it wasn't the magic that I've heard growing up.
No, because you didn't. It wasn't. It's a game of consequence because of what the series has represented down through the years. But truly, Florida is like a carcass laying there tonight. That's all that was. And you had to go beat them because they're not going to hand you anything. They're not going to give you anything. So you had to go take it to them. And Tennessee, punched them. They knocked them out. They went in there in the first round and knocked them out. That's what they did. And then laid on them for a couple rounds.
How many chances have we had in just this last 10 times we've went down there alone to go down there and win that football game? My whole life has been a horror story of playing in Gainesville. It's been a miserable game every time we go down there. And this is the first, and I'm glad we get to close it on us beating them down like this. But I mean, it was through the years just horrible football. It was torture if you're a Tennessee fan watching those guys play down there.
Yeah,
and tonight it really, really was needed.
And we've lost to some really bad teams in our building too. That's the other thing. We've lost to some bad teams.
Is all the chips in the middle of the table on Kiffin now?
In the middle of whose table? No, I don't think he's going there.
Florida?
That's the word. The word is that he's going to go to LSU if he goes anywhere.
You don't think his ex-wife's ties to Gainesville play any plan?
No, I thought that, but according to people I talked to, the belief is that he's either going to go to LSU or stay there. And LSU has told him, if you're planning on, or Ole Miss has told him, if you're planning on leaving us, you're leaving us. You're not coaching in the playoffs. Pretty interesting, isn't it?
Long shot they would try to bring Meyer back, after honoring them tonight and kind of it's kind of an odd time to include him back in the program.
I don't know if that could ever happen. Urban Meyer's, I think, too smart to get back involved in that.
It wouldn't be as good as the first time.
He wouldn't be as successful in this NIL portal era because he liked to stack talent and hard coach guys and weed the ones out. I don't think he would be as successful in this era of parity.
And you know
with
what,
the
Matt?
lack of depth.
And you know what, Matt? They hated him in pro football. He was a repellent toward those people.
Yeah, he's smart enough to just stay on TV.
Yep.
And Tim Tebow isn't going to be brought back with him, so
amen to that.
That's that would hurt. He wasn't very good there without Tebow.
Yep. This Ole Miss teams, the Ole Miss, their management showing me something because I'd have thought they'd have been happy to have Kiffin coach him in the playoffs. It's been floated that if Ole Miss loses, not having your coach could be seen as the same as not having your quarterback. That's been floated out there, so who knows? It's sad for those kids, though, that you do everything a coach asks, and I know those guys are getting paid, but still, you do everything a coach asks, and then he leaves you while you're in the middle of playing a magical season at your school. There's just something wrong with that, man. There's a lot wrong with that.
If anybody knows that he'll do it, it's us, though. I mean, that guy left us in the middle of the night. I mean, he showed he'll do it.
No question. No question. Lepers don't
and
change
I've
their
never
spots.
bought in on any of this changed man stuff he puts out in the media.
Yeah. Oh, I do think he's changed. But from that perspective, if anybody's going to get up and leave on you, it's going to be that dude. I will say this, though. The night he left Tennessee, he at least had a press conference.
Has he wanted out of there, do you think, or ever since he got there?
It doesn't seem that way, Bri. It doesn't seem that way. I mean, I know people say that, but I don't know.
Because he probably was thinking, I'm going to get a bigger job than this, a better job than this.
But the grass isn't always greener.
By the way, they ended up winning a bunch of games while he was there.
Yeah, the grass isn't always greener. And I'm not sure. After watching Florida tonight, guys, I'm not sure that Florida is a better job than Ole Miss right now. I'm just not sure of that.
Better hope Columbo's not listening to that.
No.
That was his whole point of his call.
I know, but I had to bust his balls, though, Matt. You know that.
Well, you do.
And I busted his balls.
Come on. Good Lord.
Yes.
You get under his skin.
I know. It's very fun.
Ohio State's never going to lose
I think Kiffin's the perfect coach for Florida, which is why I hope he doesn't go there.
Yeah, he'd win big time there.
I mean, they have some NIL issues, but I think his personality could kind of rally some of that and get the money for that. And the way he coaches, his style, it's a perfect fit down there.
And it made tonight's game so much bigger for us because we had to take advantage of them while they were down. I don't think they'll be so down when they come to Knoxville in 2 years. They won't be down.
So. They make another turd higher.
Like that.
They make another turd higher, Bri. They're going to disappear. Anything else for us?
How long until they put back on our schedule?
2 years.
So we just don't play them for 2 years? Is that with everybody? Is that how the rotation works?
Yes. Yeah,
they'll play Alabama, Kentucky, Vandy every year. And then the other 12 will rotate. 6 1 year and then 6 the next.
Yep. So it's every 2 years.
Every other year you'll play somebody that's not one of the permanent 3.
Either here or there. And that whole thing rotates. So I appreciate the call. Thank you. Let's go back to our phones and get our next call in. It's Garza. It's Garza Law 5th quarter fan reaction. This is the time of the show where I start forgetting what I'm doing. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony Basilio.
Yo.
It's Big Dog in West Tennessee.
There he is. What's up, brother?
Hey, man. After tonight, I just got to say, go Vols.
Isn't that nice to say? It's nice to celebrate, isn't it, man?
I didn't even get the chance to watch the game. I was full on basketball here in West Tennessee, get a chance to see what happened. But I was so excited to see what was going on that ESPN app or whatever the crap we've got going on now.
So you were coaching basketball?
No, I was watching basketball. I never got a chance to coach it. But as it was over, I would watch what was going on. And just listen tonight. Thing I have to say is the people that have been crying about, how much we beat Florida by, let's just think about this. We're upset, or some of those that have been, calling tonight are upset about the margin of victory against Florida, especially in Gainesville. And Brian can check me on this, I think we've only beaten Florida. This was the second largest margin of victory tonight against Florida in the entire series from 1990 to today.
I think that's right.
20 points?
Yes.
I think the biggest one was the 45-3 game.
That was so next level. And that, you didn't see tonight's game, but that's tonight's game. He could have easily surpassed that if he had felt like it. If Heupel was like a vindictive guy or whatever, he could have, or if he'd had some kind of past history with that Gonzalez guy, like he did Ty Simpson's dad, he would have hammered them tonight. Matt, if he'd have felt like it, what could the final score have been? Well, Eric, you were there. What would the final score have been if he'd have felt like it?
Sorry about that. That's a good question. I have to admit that was my only regret. Is I really thought we were going to at least hang half 100 on them.
Yeah. I mean, you're sitting there.
I think they would have been close to hanging half 100 on them.
I was thinking like 56-3 or something, because that's Florida had zero interest in being out there. And when they went out there in the third quarter, I'm telling you, I'm listening to their radio because I want to hear what the radio guys are saying, because I think it's interesting. And I've got the Sirius XM app, and I'm listening to their
gives
guys.
you a good gauge.
Yeah, it does give you a gauge. And I'm listening to those guys talk, and they're going, "Why aren't we throwing the ball down the field?" And that Matthews guy that played quarterback there is like, well, they don't want them to throw the ball down the field. It was almost like, okay, this is just kind of understood. This is what we're going to do here.
I mean,
I think that's well said.
It's fine. Like when we were 31-0, like after the basketball game I was at, we went and got something to eat, and we left, and it was 31-0, and people were coming up to me, because I mean, obviously I have a Tennessee shirt on, and I'm like, go Vols, or whatever, and I kind of like I was tuning out of it, because I wanted to get home to kind of see what was going on, and man, bro, it was 31-0, when I even like checked my ESPN app to see what was going on, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I've sat through I don't know how many times of Tennessee Florida games. I think the first one I kind of like really paid attention to, we were down 31-0 to Florida in '94 when Peyton was a freshman.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yep.
Some of these people that swore off watching that game would look at that score and check their phone and their app and think, "Well, my phone's broken, my app's broken."
I mean, bro, I was on Russell Smith the other day, and I'm like, he's like, "Well, that's Florida." I'm like, dude, those teams are not going to come back on the field and play this game the other night. There's no Riddell Anthony and Ike Hilliard aren't out there Saturday night, and Kevin Carter's not out there, and Ellis Johnson's not out there, and those guys aren't out there, and Alex Brown's not out there.
Oh, but so somebody we never heard of is going to run for 200 yards.
I mean,
and then Alex Brown's going to emerge out of somebody who hasn't done anything all year.
Ike Hilliard would have been upgrades over the receivers they had out there tonight. I mean, we had those guys locked down.
And that's what's the most beautiful thing about tonight is we were in their stadium on Urban Meyer night, and we were dominating them like 30 years ago. Like, just never even thought that could happen.
Yes. It's pretty great, isn't it?
I have one more thing to say. So, you know my history with Dip Chip Barb.
Yes.
And watching, I have to say this, watching Butch walk off the field on Thursday night, it looked like Barb's rotel expired before Butch got a chance to take a dip of it. Go Vols.
Thank you. Good talking to you. Matt, what'd you think of Butch's bungle job the other night? And do we still like Butchie?
That was great entertainment, a great kind of appetizer for the weekend. The way he was got all purple faced and was yelling at himself walking off the field, telling the officials that they should throw a flag because Louisiana's team ran on the field. God, everything about that was great. Mismanaged the clock a little bit.
Mismanaged the clock.
Everything about that was hilarious.
What's not to love?
He played all the greatest hits.
Yep. What's not to love? Well, boys, it's been fun. I'm going to go lay down. I'm exhausted. Give me some final thoughts. Matt, hit it.
Just a great night for Tennessee football. You went and took care of business and dominated an inferior team. And when you put that jersey on, it's a signature win for Josh Heupel and for Aguilar, for everybody on that team. You just beat the hell out of them, and it's 31-0 at the half. That's about as thorough of a half that Tennessee's played. Maybe under Heupel. Just really, really impressive. Took care of business, and now you've got an even bigger game that potentially has playoff implications next week against Vandy, which is kind of crazy to say, but that's what we are in 2025. Vandy's a playoff team, and Tennessee beats the hell out of Florida, and our fans are some of them could be upset that we only won by 20 in Gainesville after going 20 years without winning down there.
Yep. And some could be really angry 1 week later. That's the nature of this. This thing's a week-to-week proposition. Ewad?
Be one of these people that pretends why some of our fans had Stockholm Syndrome about this. I understand why we had fans who, despite all the logical things you could look at, thought bad is going to happen. Because, we've seen it so many times. And you know what? I am so glad I've been released from that prison or that kidnapping situation where they were made to feel that way over decades. So I'm not going to pretend like tonight wasn't a huge freaking deal. Even though, the Gators have won, 3 games?
I shall be released, brother. I shall be released. Bob Dylan. Thank you, E.
Amen.
Brian Hartman?
Well, it's going to go over 1,000 days since Florida last beat Tennessee in football by the time they face each other again. And
that's cool.
To have 2-year bragging rights and really 4-year bragging rights against a team like that, I don't know why anybody would ever feel the need to be afraid of that series ever again.
Arn Anderson, baby.
They've been released.
Arn Anderson, baby.
Please, just. I'm glad that's going to stop.
Thank you, Brian. Shout out to everybody called the show tonight, those that didn't. Shout out to our thousands of listeners. Shout out to the people that are out there on the highways and byways driving right now. I wish I could stay up with you all night, but I just have a point where my body says, that's it. And I'm at that point right now, but I love you. And I'm for you, not against you. I just want you to know that. For Matt and for E and for Bry and for Cinco and for John Adams and the entire cast and crew, my name's Basilio. I wish you a great one. I want to thank all of our wonderful sponsors. Please support them when you get the opportunity. Thank you to the great Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm. Great stuff. And till we meet again, I appreciate you. And I hope you have a great, great, great rest of your Sunday. And go Birds go, but really go Vols go. That's what it's about. And really what it's about is enjoying the fellowship after a victory like that tonight. And for as long as I've been here, I've wanted to see one of these Vanderbilt games when it's really, really, really a game of consequence. I guess be careful what you wish for, because this week's going to be really fun, wrapped around a great holiday as well. Love you, appreciate you, peace. G to the B to the O, we love you. God bless, go Vols. Thanks, enjoy your night.
Orange fans, you played every snap. You showed your orange. But you're just getting started because it's time for the best post-game fan show in college football. It's time for the Garza Law Firm 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. The place where the Big Orange universe from all around the world gathers to talk about today's game. Unfiltered